Good morning, everybody. Look, I've got a special guest with me today. It's Gary. Hello, Gary. How are you doing this morning?
Hey Peter, how are you? Good morning,
I am.
everyone.
I am
I am
doing good.
filling in for Carlos and Mike today.
Yeah, you're filling in for Mike, who's filling in for Carlos. If we just keep going. Mike had some internet issues. Looks like his internet is not functioning. And
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So I had. I want to give a shout out to my cousin's wife, by the way, for a second. Hold on a sec. I want to show you guys this because I got presented with a shirt. This is your skill testing question for the day. Who recognizes? What is this? Anybody? No? All right. There you go. Ministry of Silly Walks. Big Monty Python fans recognize that. So there you go. That's all right. Anyways, okay. With that done, we can talk markets here. Why don't we get going? We've got some. Well, I don't know. I don't know what today's going to bring, guys. We've got a few things sitting here in the gappers, mostly on the downside. We had a couple of earnings that we could talk about that happened this morning. Really, not any earnings overnight. But this morning we've got a couple, and of course we've got the economic calendar, which is pretty light. Normally, Gary, this is your first time here. Normally, this is where I would throw it over to your role to do the economic calendar. You want to give a shot at it?
Well, I'm just supposed to read this through. Sure. Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting Fed Waller speak and FOMC minutes. I don't put a lot of emphasis on FOMC minutes because this is just minutes of the meetings which have already happened. I know some people think it's really relevant. It used to be a lot more relevant, but these days we have not seen in the last, I would say, 6 to 7 FOMC minutes release. We have not seen a lot of intraday stock reaction to those minutes. And then Bostic speaks. And when is the Jackson Hole meeting, Peter? Do you remember top of your head?
Well, the meeting I think starts today and then goes through Friday when Powell makes his sort of speech, right? When he sort of tells us what the
Yeah.
outcome is.
Yeah, that is what everyone is waiting for. And I think till then markets are gonna be in a limbo and then we take a real direction. But that's just what I think. But price action again has to confirm that.
Price action is king. All right, guys. Well, with that, why don't we get to this price action? Because as was pointed out, the minutes. You're absolutely right, Gary. Those minutes used to be much more significant than they are today, and well, I mean, we'll see. The market's been very skittish lately, and it could be, it could react to the minutes, but there should be no surprises, right? We already know that the Fed didn't change the rates in the last period. The minutes should reflect that. The only thing that I think might be interesting out of it is the fact that we know that we had two dissenters, right? And it's the very first time. I think Mike was saying yesterday since
That's a
like the
true sentence.
'90s
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
had two who, I mean, I'm sure that over the last few years there have been people that have voted against it, but usually they don't make that public. So the fact that they publicly announced that there was two who wanted it on the record that they had voted against it but were outvoted, if that's included in the minutes, that might cause some market reaction depending on the commentary related to it. But again, I don't know what to expect because normally they're pretty innocuous. We will see.
Yeah.
Wait for this afternoon if you guys are still trading. All right, here's what we got on the gappers list. We're going to take this. Look, the gap up, pretty easy. We only have one thing that we're looking at here on this gap up, and it's the sissy stock. No, SI. It's traded 12 million shares. It's really in play, up 43%. Shineco? I guess that's what it's called, Shineco. I feel like we've seen this before, but it doesn't really seem familiar to me. If I look at the daily chart, it's been in a downturn. It looks like it's just been going down ever since its IPO back early in January of this year. So, Gary, what do you know about SISI?
That's the first time looking at this ticker. I'm just going through trading terminal and news, and immediately two things catch my eye: biological integration and blockchain. So those are two fancy words to include in one single news line item. Shineco establishes biological cell digital division to integrate biological cell assets and blockchain technology. I am not sure what this news is about, but it seems like they're doing something which has to do with some sort of biological cell and how you can tokenize it. And this is taking speculation and combining it with speculation resulted
Wait,
stocks, right?
th-
For me,
that's very yeah,
pharmaceutical
that's
stocks pre-approval is speculative, right?
I gotta say, everything you're saying is terrifying me. So,
Yeah.
so they're doing a biological-based blockchain product, and especially when I looked up the company, and the first thing that said is the farm product company out of China. I am like,
And let's add that to
oh my
it.
God, what is happening here? This is I've seen movies like this. Isn't this how the end starts? The zombie apocalypse is coming. And it's going to be led by SISI. All right, well, guys, I don't know. Look, I mean, maybe we should make some money while we can before the end times dawn upon us. It actually looks pretty good pre-market. The volume is decent. It's been moving. It's hard to borrow. I noticed that. It is shortable though. Oh no, sorry, it's not shortable. Oh, my bad. My bad. So this is not shortable, so you can only trade it to the long side. That makes it a little less interesting, to be honest. You know what? I just realized I've got to get my list here. I'm not sure. Gary, would you even think about trading this thing?
Normally, Peter, I usually stay away from stocks under $20, ideally $50. I am not interested. I mean, to me personally, I prefer trading ODT options on SPY, where you can get a move from 5 to 10, and it's the SPY, right? So it's something which cannot be relatively easily manipulated, if at all. So I'd rather focus my time and energy on something like that, where you can get similar type of moves than every day look for what's gapping up and does it make sense? Unless it's a ticker which has high free float, high market cap, uh, relatively known name. I am generally shy, and I'm shy for a reason. When I was learning how to trade, I thought this was the way to trade because you can easily take 10,000 shares of something like Sissy. And if it moves $1, you make $10,000. And I lost a lot of money doing that. And I was like, all right, this is so
Well,
this
you're
is
absolutely right. This is what we talk about in terms of risk to reward. And it's good to hear you say that because this is the type of thing that we talk about all the time. And it's so attractive, isn't it? Because, like, you look at it and, like you said, I just need $1 move, man. And, imagine if it went $4 and you start, like, buying Lambos and and stuff. But
yeah,
the reality is, it'll pull 50 cents back against
yeah,
you. You panic and get out having lost $5,000, and then of course the thing
yeah.
shoots up. So how many
So
times have we seen that?
it's funny. I was telling my one of my mentees yesterday, the only way to really make a quick $1 million to become sorry, the only way to quickly become a millionaire day trading stocks is to start with $1 billion.
There you go. That's like the old joke about you want to know how to make $1 million? Spend $5 million and buy a winery. So, that's. But anyways, all right.
Uh,
Well, apparently, you can just co-opt it to stocks. Okay, well, that's the only thing we have on the gap up list here this morning. Gary, do you have anything else gapping up that you think we should be taking a look at?
Gap up names. I don't think so. There's anything on the gap up list today as such. So
Well,
no, I don't have
all right. Well, let
anything
me
on the
give you a
gap
few
up
here
side.
that I'm looking at just because of earnings. We had a number of earnings this morning, some of which are gapping up. Starting with TJX, the TJ Maxx, TJX and related stocks. Or sort of their related companies, I should say. Gapping up, they beat their numbers on revenue, delivering 14.4 billion versus a 14 billion estimate, and a $1.10 in earnings versus just a flat dollar, or basically $1.01 they were expected. So they delivered a little bit better. They don't typically get a lot of pre-market volume. It is a nicey stock. You guys know probably by now that I always make a distinction between the NYSE, so those that trade on the New York Stock Exchange, and those that trade on the NASDAQ. They just trade a little bit different, especially right at the open. If something's trading on the New York Stock Exchange, you got to wait for the volume to come in. NASDAQ stocks, you can almost always count on the volume coming in right at 9:30, right? The bell rings, the volume hits. That doesn't always happen on the New York Stock Exchange just because of the way they manage the exchange and their market maker, I guess, scenario. Market makers are a little more manual, so they may not put the volume in for a minute or two or three or five, depending on, I don't know, whatever they're doing in the background. So just be aware of that. TJ Maxx, though, may be a potential, but it is gapping up. Another one that I was looking at was Lowe's. Lowe's has even lower volume this morning, another NYSE stock. Lowe's, it had a little bit of a mixed picture, so I'm actually surprised to see them gapping up because they slightly missed on revenue, not by much, $23.96 billion in revenue versus $24.02 was the forecast, but they over-delivered on the bottom line, an extra 10 cents per share, delivering $4.33. So Lowe's is one that doesn't get a lot of volume pre-market, but look at this daily. Look at where it's what it's been doing. I actually didn't realize that Lowe's had grown the way it has, and it's heading back up to an area that had some resistance previously. So right now we're sitting at $2.63, but it hit a high of $2.72 this morning. So I'm thinking that might be worth watching. Just again, I don't know whether it's going to get enough volume to make it an interesting trader. It's really hit or miss with Lowe's and Home Depot, right? They're two you got to be careful of. But I thought I'd mention it for you guys. And one that Carlos and I like to talk about. So Gary, since you're here and partnering with me this morning, FUTU. So, FUTU. Just we like to say that. FUTU had earnings, and they like some of the others, they beat their numbers here this morning. Didn't really have a bottom line earning estimate. It looks like they delivered about $2.32. I don't know what to compare that against, but it is up, and it is. Look at the stock; it's been rising over the last little while. So. Early on here, the volume's pretty low at only 400,000 shares. Pre-market action doesn't look that great. It used to be a lot better. This thing used to be one of our go-to stocks for a little period of time, anyways, but not recently. But that's another one that's gapping.
Yeah.
Up, so
the revenues are up about 70% year over year. That is impressive. A non-GAAP adjusted net income is up about 105. So it prima facie, this looks interesting, right? Because the price action looks clean. The numbers sort of are supporting in price action. So this is going to jump toward the top three on my list for the day today. 3.4 is a reason. 3.4 is a reasonable price, gap up. And the high of the day today is exactly the same as what it has been rejecting for the last couple of days. But with earnings today, if we move out, then it can potentially be very lucrative.
Okay, well, if Gary says so, I'm going to add it to my secondary list. We'll see then what it does. Okay, so it made the list. All right, that's what we have for gap up. Let's take a look at the gap down list now. A few more things sitting on that. We'll start at the top of this list. It just popped up here, I think, because I don't remember seeing it earlier here. Which is this JHX. Doesn't sound familiar to me. JX, James Hardy. I don't know what this is. Maybe you can help me out, Gary. What the heck is JHX? James Hardy Industries, a building materials company out of Ireland. You know what? This is nothing we normally look at. This industry, Ireland. It's an interesting company to be on our list here. Why is it here?
Interesting.
What's the
earnings?
Okay.
Earnings. Yeah. So earnings top of the line. First quarter was a little challenging. So that's why the stock's down. I don't know much about this, but this is not something I would be interested in trading, to be honest. I'm guessing, I don't know, but liquidity is going to be an issue. On a name like this, yeah. So so I mean, honestly, I just logged into Twitter, and the first line I read is class action lawyers reading the GHX results. and you have these three jumping men like who are happy. So if class action lawyers are happy reading these results, it's
You
kind of
know what?
like,
I All right, so guys, I haven't had the opportunity to do this, so here we go. You know what? I've got a problem. I've for long have had a problem with these class action lawsuits and these ambulance chasing lawyers. Every single time a company misses their numbers, they decide that shareholders have been harmed and join our class action suit and we're going to sue the company. Drives me crazy. Companies will miss their numbers. Management doesn't always do a good job of forecasting. I won't deny there's occasional times where there is malfeasance and
okay.
something, then something needs to be done about it. But I am convinced it is maybe 10% of the time that they decide to sort of take these action lawsuits. Yeah. Usually it's just grumpy people that lost money. It's the markets, people. That's what happens. You lose your money.
So
So
I'm reading
there you
another
go.
headline.
Get
I'm
off my
reading
lawn.
another headline over here on AZEC.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah. So there are two parts to this business. There's an AZEC acquisition, which is complete, which perhaps brings some synergistic opportunities for profitability. But this is more important. Their core business of fiber cement, sales down 12%, margins down, EBITDA margins down 400 bips. So the profitability perhaps took a bigger hit, and cement is a cyclical business. If your sales start going down, your margins contract really quickly because of high operational fixed costs. So I would not be biased long on this name at any point personally. If it goes up without me. Wow. I might look at it for a short, but unlikely I would even look at this ticker.
Good on you, man. I wouldn't dare to pretend I know anything about the cement business. So, okay, there you go. Gary has spoken. All right, guys, let's take a look at the rest of our list here, starting with TGT. This is one that I was following from earnings this morning. I know that they beat on revenue and missed on earnings. I assume that's why it's here. I didn't actually read anything about their guidance, though. That's usually what drives these things. Any details, Gary?
So I haven't heard guidance yet, maybe because the earnings release at 6:30 this morning, and perhaps the conference call is later in the day. But so, Peter, here's where I would be a little careful, and this is where I put on my analyst hat and say that when your revenues meet estimate, but your profitability goes down, right? Mm-hmm. Given the backdrop of higher tariffs and the fact that this is Target, what it's essentially saying is they passed on the cost of goods to the consumers. So your sales kind of stayed flat, but your overall profitability came down because what you passed down was your cost. So if something was costing you $80 and you were making, let's say, $8, and now it's costing you $20, but you are still making $8. It's costing you $100, but you're still making $8. Then your profitability literally went from, in this scenario, from 25, 8 over 80, from 10% to 8%. And that's exactly what you're seeing on this, that EPS earnings are down 20% year on year. What's more concerning to me for Target is that there was, foot traffic decline. Talk about everything else, we can talk about macroeconomic impact on the consumer's purchasing power given the economic backdrop. Foot traffic decline, especially when you have something like TJ Maxx, on the other hand, kind of meeting and slightly beating expectations, tells you that and given what's happened to Target overall in the last few months, if not years, of consistent declining sales and profitability, this is telling you that hands off from a long perspective. A lot of investors would really start questioning, and the question becomes, at one point, where does it become a value play versus a growth story? At what point is Target too low a price that, okay, even if we take their core business and this becomes steady state with slight declines like a Marshalls or there was one more, Sears, give that as a base case, or like Intel for now, right? everything declined, but fine. At one point, you are going to get value. What's that price on
Oh,
target? I don't know. But for now, this is literally number one on my list for a possible short. A lot of people are going to look at revenues kind of meet estimate, but don't be fooled by that. If earnings are down 20% when your revenues meet estimate, prima facie, without even looking at the numbers, I can tell you it's because they passed on the costs as much as they could, and the consumers responded by not showing up to shop.
what a day, Gary! We're getting more fundamental analysis than we normally do all week here, so this is awesome. So yeah, good. Look, but it's a different perspective on the markets, and that's what I love, right? Rather than just looking at the price action, you're trying to look at the effect behind it, which can drive the big money and make decisions.
Right,
then.
and so for me, price action is what? Essentially, price action to me is mass psychology in play, right?
Absolutely.
And word psychology eventually is on a news day which is earnings today, will be derived from.
There you go. And I'm going to take a moment, guys, to say great conversation, by the way, happening on YouTube. You guys are doing some, looks like some mentoring for Ken. Everybody's helping each other out. I just love this. You know what? You should give yourselves thumbs up for helping each other out. This is what a community is all about, and what we try and promote here at Bearable Trader. So I was trying to keep on top of some of the conversation, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So let's keep it going. All right, so speaking of keeping going, let's take a back look at the gappers list. We need to move down the list to, our favorite shipping company, Zim. I think this is the shipping company. One that like, it seems to only pop up 4 times a year, Zim Integrated Shipping or whatever. It's got to be earnings, right? It's the only time it's here. I have to admit, it's not one. Okay, every time I've looked at this, I've been disappointed. So I don't think I'm going to be watching it today. Gary, anything to add on Zim?
Nothing. I don't understand the shipping business a whole lot, to be honest. And
All
it's
right, that's
primarily,
fine.
it's yeah,
Okay,
Dominicans.
let's move on from it. Not one of my favorites. We have lots of other targets today, so we don't have to stretch for these things. We might as well stick to the stuff that we do like. Estee Lauder was another one that had earnings this morning. That I was taking a look at. I know that they beat their numbers in the quarter. I didn't really look that much, too deeply, I'm trying to say, into it. Largely because Estee Lauder gets lower volume. Their average daily volume's under 4 million shares. They're trading at about 600,000 shares right now, gapping down about 6%. Again, compared to some of the other targets, doesn't feel as good. So I'm probably just going to stay away from it. Anything to add there, Gary?
They just had a difficult year last year. I know that, Estee, and I think they have a turnaround. They pretty much Estee Lauder met the lower end of their targeted guidance, and there's a turnaround plan for 2026. So this might potentially be interesting for the upside given the deep sell-off, but I'm not a person who plays reversals. I'm more of a trend trader guy. So for me, I think between Target and FUTU and PLTR potentially, I might skip trading EL, but then I will keep an eye out early morning to see like 920 to see where the stock is. Yeah.
Well, that's fair. We'll get to PLTR in a second. Let's first cover Tempest AI, one that's been on our list occasionally. I see they're gapping down this morning about 3.6% on 600,000 shares. I assume it's just the gap. I don't see any AI news. I didn't actually look these guys up, so I don't know what's going on with them specifically. Gary, again, one I'm very easily prepared to move past unless you've got something great to tell us.
I just have a joke if you want to listen to a joke.
Oh, I'm always dad joke. Let's go, buddy.
No, it's not a joke. It's a small story. One of my professors at INSEAD, he was telling us that one of the companies he headed, this is 98, 99, had .com at the end of their business. And they had nothing to do with the internet boom. It was more like commercial. So when the stock price went up like 300-400%, he went to his board and said, look, we should all just sell this business. the board decided to stick on with the businesses. He was like, I am out. I'm going to resign. He sold his shares and he retired. That's literally what's happening in the AI industry overall. Anything with the AI at its end might potentially jump. Now, I'm not saying there's something wrong with Tempest. I'm just saying that just be careful, folks. Just because it has AI need not mean it's a business related to AI.
Well, that is certainly true, and we've seen that many times, and we've seen it in many other areas, right? Like we saw this with the boom in a couple of sectors where companies would just jump on the bandwagon. They'd either rename their company or say they're retooling, and usually it was just a press release. They didn't actually even change their business model. Kodak comes to mind, and
Oh,
there's a bunch of
Kodak,
other
yeah.
companies. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the Long Island iced tea company that they literally made iced tea and they decided to become a crypto company. This was back a couple of years. And the stock skyrocketed until everybody realized they had no idea what they were doing in crypto. And the thing tanked as fast as it went up. So these things happen. All right, so we'll avoid Tempest AI then for the moment. Let's go to the one that you had mentioned, Gary, and PLTR. It's been a great mover. I am very happy with PLTR right now. If you guys were joining us yesterday, I had a great trade right off the open, and it made my day. It really did. And then it made a second move over the course of the day. If you look at this thing yesterday, it made this great move off the open, and then it came back to VWAP, and then made another move all the way down to the lows. So it was pretty much down and more down for PLTR yesterday. What do you see in it today?
PLTR is going to be up. Generally we might have an inside day on PLTR, but we're gapping down. So either there's gap down and continuation. What I would be looking for is it's either gap and go. So we're going to gap down and keep on going down. If that doesn't happen and we stall, then I'm looking for a turn back to value towards 160. 165 area. Maybe that's a little too high because we're at 155 right now. So we're either moving either or it's going to be a trend play is my thought process, that if it's going to be gap and go, then it's going to be a true gap and go and we don't look back. Or if we stall, then we're going to go back up to find the last 5-minute seller on the name, which to me would be around the 160, 162.50 area. But that's what I'm looking at PLTR for. I think I will give it either I'm going to play an opening range breakout, most likely, hopefully hoping for a breakdown, quick partials. If it stalls, get out. And if it starts going up, maybe participate on the upside. But because the net trend is down, I would be a little hesitant looking on the long side unless we are going up from the moment get-go. But that's my game plan for the day. I don't have price levels on it besides the obvious ones, which we'll perhaps discuss later in the show.
Okay. Yes, we should. I'm just checking here. Somebody was mentioning in the chat room they can't see the full screen. I am sharing a screen. Aren't I sharing a screen? What's happening?
Yeah, I can see your screen on YouTube.
No, what about in the chat room? Only a small screen. Hold on a sec. Let's see what's going on here. Thanks, guys. You know what? I should have. I don't know why we only had the little window. Does this look better? There you go. Okay. Now we're there. All right. You know why? I clicked the wrong button. That's my fault, guys. Sorry. There we go. Okay. We're in now. Sorry, if you guys told me earlier in the chat room, that's my bad. I wasn't paying attention. Too many things going on. My apologies. Okay, there you go. Should be much better. All right, so that's PLTR, guys. It is making my list for sure. Another one that is sort of a mainstay on our list. You may have seen me taking a peek at it a little bit earlier. Was Tesla. Tesla had another I thought it was an interesting trading day yesterday. Really looked like it wanted to sort of jump higher yesterday, and then quickly reversed, and then went down for the rest of the day. So interesting sort of price action yesterday. Tesla's always good for a few dollars of movement one way or the other. So it's definitely one of the ones that I'm going to be keeping an eye on today. And of course, one of our other mainstays. Well, the two of them, NVIDIA and AMD. Now, for a while, it was just NVIDIA, which was the good trade. Now it looks like AMD's come back into the mix and is staying here, fairly consistently. because it's given us good trade opportunities. So I'm going to be watching both of them as I usually do, just to see what happens. Because like I said, you can get moves almost every single day, but that doesn't mean just jump in blindly, right? Make sure that the price movement is supporting a type of strategy that you're looking to trade, and if they do, then go for it. So that's sort of my list. We got actually a bunch of stuff on our list today. Gary, anything else that you're watching that we should put an eye to?
Tesla to me is at an all-important area. The 327.50 to 330 range has been where the previous buyer has been, and we are right at the 200 SMA on the daily. So this is something I didn't think we are going to come back to this price yesterday. I thought we were just going to go higher, but it's a prime candidate for either a breakdown or reclaim back to 340. So I'm hoping for either a range run back to 335, 340 area or a breakdown to 320, 320, 50, 69 area.
And interesting, you guys know that over the last couple of days we've been drawing these boxes, right, where we see a lot of the price, a lot of trades basically of traded hands. And if I look, I could easily draw a box right through this area here, which is basically 335 to 340. Look at how many days of the last couple of weeks, right? We've had significant price action within that space. So I think you're right, Gary. If it can go higher, that's the space it'll go to. To the downside, well, yeah, I mean, the last, we really just have almost a gap. It isn't quite a gap technically, but there's really just very limited trade activity that happened between 326 and 322, I would say. And then we got another gap area down here where it would probably find support around 320. So, yeah, Tesla looks good for a move. Again, it might not do it today. That's the thing you never know, right? Will today be its day? That probably depends on not only Tesla, but market factors. So.
Yeah, that's why I always say, the only thing you control in day trading is how much money you're willing to lose. You never control how much you can make.
Fair enough. Absolutely. So, okay, how about you guys out there, either in the chat room or on YouTube? What else are you looking? I see some of the stuff we've already looked at. Tesla's mentioned. Target is being mentioned, which we already took a look at. How about on YouTube? What are you guys looking at, or do you want us to look at? PLTR, we just took a peek on. I see Wolf. Oh, you, Sam, you're just saying that. Wolf was one that we had mentioned. That was on our list yesterday, or was it Monday? What did it do yesterday? Yeah, I don't really like it. I didn't spend a lot of time watching it, to be honest. Like Gary mentioned at the top of the show, sometimes it's good to go back to stocks that you sort of have faith that at least they've got some consistent movement that you can trust on. Look, there's a lot of value on trading the stuff that's in play, and that's why we look at it each day. But you have to have a strategy to trade it. I am one that I will look at this stuff every day. Every once in a while, one or two of them will make my list, but for the most part, I go back to a very limited handful of stocks. Right? Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, Microsoft, Apple, PLTR. I go back to those again and again and again because I trust that the price action and what they're going to give me in terms of movement. So it fits my strategy quite nicely. Kyle, I see that you're mentioning Intel to take a look at. Intel was one that we had.
Oh, yeah.
What is Intel? We had talked. Intel's a tough one because every once in a while it'll move. I know that we talked about this on Monday, and it actually did make a good move. I'm seeing yesterday it actually had a good move off the open, retraced that move by the first hour, and then moved sideways pretty much for the rest of the day. On the daily, it is at an interesting spot as it's holding these gains it's got around the $25 mark. So it could be interesting. I don't know if. I mean, the volume's been increasing day over day here. That is interesting. That volume.
Yeah, Intel looks like a prime candidate for a breakout, but again, does it happen today or 2 days from today or next week? But yeah, it looks interesting given the backdrop of the news. But I don't know. I mean, will the US really acquire? Can the government change their mind? This is pure speculation. So are we really going to go to like $30, $32? Maybe do a gap fill all the way to 28.96, 29, let's call it. Quite possible. Is it gonna For Intel to move $4, it would need a lot of volume.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like we were saying yesterday, 50 cents, a dollar move is a great move on Intel. So you're getting
Yeah,
greedy if you're trying to expect anything
yeah,
more than that. So even this move that we were talking about yesterday, right? This big move bottom to top was only like $1.30. So yeah, it's just understand that you can still trade it in my mind. You just need to trade the right size with the right risk, right? But you have to understand how things move. So okay, guys, that's a good list to start with. Why don't we've got a couple of things that we need to cover here. So why don't we take a look at what's happening out there in the community? And Gary, again, normally this is where I call on my sidekick, or this is my job when I'm the sidekick. So to look at the look at what's happening in the community. You feeling up to doing that today?
yeah. Sure. Let's look at it.
Okay, here we go.
Jared is watching PLTR Tesla, and he has a secondary. He has Hertz, Wolf, and Open.
Oh,
I
wait, we're
had
not going there
Open.
yet.
Oh,
That's what our moderators are watching
ah,
later. I need you to tell us what the webinars are for today.
oh. Right.
It should be on the screen.
Uh, I just need to move it to a bigger screen. Okay. So we have Dr. Charlene for on the psychology webinar. I absolutely love listening to her. She makes so much sense when I listen to her. I remember listening to a lot of psychology webinars a couple of years ago, and it felt like they're looking me into the eye and talking about, you do this, stop doing it. So I think psychology webinars are really great. Dr. Vanessa is really, really good. Then at 11 a.m., we have with Lenny, the trend trading mentorship and an options trading mentorship with Jared. Lenny is awesome in trend trading, and Jared is just an absolutely brilliant mind when it comes to understanding the nuances of options and how to have um, more plays and more complex plays with option strategy, including some credit strategies, which he speaks about.
There you go. Don't forget that live on this show a little bit later this morning, Dr. Charlene will be with Thor. She's the special guest on Wednesdays. He's been talking about his Wednesday series, so she's doing double duty today with that, and then of course the webinar tonight. Don't forget, if you want to join us at Bearable Traders, if you want to watch those webinars, be part of the community, you can do that. Just go to bearabletraders.com and scroll down to the bottom of that entry screen, and you can see all the different offers. Right now, we still have our summer sale on. Gives you 50% off the Elite Annual. That's your best deal. It's a 1-year membership that gives you access to all of our material, all the training material, all the psychology webinars, and of course the chat room, which is open every hour, every minute that the stock market is open, and then some. So if you're interested, join there. Of course, we have also intro and basic type packages that you can join with. We've been talking to you about the boot camp. Don't forget that we've got our Peak Capital Trading Boot Camp. The next iteration starts in September. It'll be the first week of September. It goes 3 months, and it's pretty intensive. It's really for those that want to accelerate their trading journey. I always say, look, I don't want to sell it to everybody. It's there if you want it. It's a really great course if you want to accelerate and really sort of hone your skills. I do not recommend it for someone that's just starting trading, but as long as you've got a couple of months of trading or a couple of years and are looking to improve those skills, then consider the boot camp. Go to peakcapitaltrading.com. You can get all the information. If you want more details that you're not finding there, just email us, right? Peter at peakcapitaltrading.com or Carlos or Andrew even. We're all happy to help and answer your questions in any way that we can. So that's the information on that. Let's get back to looking at some stocks. What I'll do now is I'm going to set some levels here so that we can take a look at those stocks that we've put onto our list. I got a lot here, so I might not go through levels in depth. But let's take a look at what we've got. I'm going to be using the daily and probably the hourly chart most to set levels, starting with Target at the top here. I like Target. Target's been in a pretty tight daily range compared to where we're sitting right now, with the price at only $93, and I like it, $93.93. Look at that right now. So We are at a price that I think that we're able to move from. This definitely tells me that there's at the bottom end of this range, probably down at 92. Whoops, I got to get my levels here set. $92 I'm going to keep an eye on, and down here at the bottom here, probably $88. I'm going to take put a level there. These are ranges. I really don't see a very strong level, but I'm going to keep an eye if we drop. Notice that there's a slight gap here in which we've been playing over the last little while, so that gap has probably been completely filled by the price action over the last month and a half, which means that we really just have to look to the highs and lows of the previous 2 days for our top side levels. That's target. All right, what next did I have on my list? Next, I had PLTR, a good old favorite. We did talk about this just a second ago, and if we're looking at PLTR, well, with that big move down yesterday, this is either going to go back up and fill this gap, right, back up over this 161, or if we gap down, my God, we're at 152. I can't believe that compared to yesterday when we opened the day around 172. If we go down, well, I need to go to a 60-minute chart really to see what section, what support we've got, and I really don't see a lot, frankly. Right, this area, the price area that we're in right now, doesn't have a significant amount of support or activity that's happened here in the past. There's a little bit right at the current price. There's a little bit more down below. I might set a level just to keep my eye on a 150. That's a big whole dollar number, which you're going to watch anyways. You always got to watch the big numbers because they tend to provide support or resistance depending the side from which you're hitting it. So PLTR is pretty simple today. We've got to wait and see what the price action tells us.
Sorry, Peter, just 1 second. I do want to point out something.
Yeah.
On the 60-minute chart, if you can zoom out a little and go scroll all the way right, I want to show something really interesting.
Okay.
On the 60, if you can zoom out a little.
You want to zoom out?
Yeah.
Candles get really small if I do that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, a little more. Yeah. This is what is called a rounded reversal or a potential cup pattern, right? So you have a cup forming if you start looking at 152.41 on the left side, what Peter has a level mark, and then move up. And then this is what a rounded reversal looks like. So potentially there's a lot of downside if we start going below that 152.40 level where the price is right now, that and 150. And so I would be really, really keen to see what happens if the price starts dropping below 150 to see if we can move to like 135. Not today. I mean, can we do another 10% today? Unlikely, but that would be I would be starting to look at that thing, and it's on a higher time frame. That becomes really interesting. Again, it's a thought process in mind. This is where I'm anticipating the price action and trying to predict it. Will I execute it no matter what? No, everything else has to align with it. But this is something to keep in mind, the bigger picture time frame, then potentially see what the move can look like.
There you go. Okay. And you're right, absolutely. Look at this. I mean, we've made this sort of inverted cup or this cups, and we're right back to that last area of consolidation that we had at the end of July. So we've basically negated all of the activity that's happened in August with that move yesterday. So interesting spot. All right, let's. I'm going to skip down to the secondary list because Nvidia, Tesla, AMD, we look at every single day. We'll come back to them if we have time. This SISI, probably not a lot of levels to set. It's a lower price stock, right? I just don't love the look of the price action. Let me zoom in here in the 60-minute. To the downside, really not a lot of areas of support. In fact, I mean, right at the price we're at now, I can see it's spent a lot of time here. So there's a general range we can look at from about $7.20 up to about $7.80. Other than that, I like this less the more I look at it, frankly. So I'll leave it there in case you guys like it. Looking at the daily, well, we can just see, look at this thing. It's been on a slow slide for a very long time. It looks like since it IPO'd at the beginning of the year. So look, we could very well just go lower and stay there. Although we are up 50% from the close. It closed at under $5 yesterday, and we're sitting at sorry, 743. So, I mean, yes, it's had a good move. No, I still don't really like it. Lowe's was another one that we talked about. So, Lowe's, like we mentioned, has an interesting spot here. Definitely, I want to put a level right up here where we'd hit the high back in January of this year. It looks like that actual high was 169.18. So, I'm just, you know what? I'm gonna put my level right ahead of that at just 169. It once again whole dollar number, but it sort of gives me the alert that we're heading towards that area. Now, this is certainly not all-time highs, right? I mean, Lowe's has been a lot higher. You just have to go back in time to see the price has been much higher, even just last year. But I don't know how much farther we're going to go today, so we'll see. Just in case. There's probably a level of resistance we'll hit around just before 176. We'll keep an eye on there. And then again, if we get up as high as 184, which I highly, highly doubt. But that's lows for me this morning. And then FUTU, just one that's fun to say, not so much fun to trade recently. Sitting up at this high range, though. Again, I am impressed at how much FUTU has gone up. We look at the 60-minute chart. I can see, look at how many days we've spent in this relative price range, right? Bracketing our current price. So putting a low level roughly at 173 and the high, well, is really the high of pre-market. See how it went exactly to this area that we sort of hit the highs in for 4 days last week or 3 days last week and then Monday. That tells me this thing is relatively range bound and we are roughly sitting in the middle of that range right now with the price at 173. So it really needs to start breaking higher over 176, I would argue, or lower below 170 for me to get very interested in FUTU. All right, that leaves us with a couple of minutes, so I can go back to some of our good old standbys. Tesla, for example. Well, guys, we've been drawing boxes. We've been looking at it. Tesla, I still think Tesla's looking weak and potentially can move lower. If we look at a daily chart, we can see how it sits at the bottom end of this consolidation range, which would allow it to sort of move down into this area of fairly light price action. I mean, it's certainly been here, but not for very long as it's moved up and down through it. So we'll see what happens. It could very well pop up. We know that Tesla always has support, and every time you think it's going to drop, it seems to be, at least for me, those surprising days when it sort of pops up, whether you believe that's warranted or not. So I'm just going to watch Tesla and see what it does. But the highs and lows of the previous 2 days give me some indication, plus the levels I already have set. You can see here at 345, 360 to the top side, and then to the downside, I've got a lot really far below here. I'm going to set one here around 306. But again, I don't think we're going to go that low today. NVIDIA, good old standby. And if you remember with Mike, we've been drawing our boxes about these ranges. Yesterday, of course, was a big down day where it moved well below that range. And sort of what we were talking about, if it got below this range, it's likely to keep going, and it certainly did. So I think now we've got to look farther back for what is a new area, and I see sort of a new area that it could potentially hit here. I'm going to want to be warned around 174.50-ish. Let me put my level. Actually, I want to put it right there at 174.50. Again, I don't know for sure. I mean, that's only, what is that, 70, 80 cents away from the current price. So very well could get there. In fact, right off the open, it could get there because it was below that level, went all the way down to 174 pre-market. So that's definitely within shooting range. So we got to keep in mind that these levels could potentially come into play. 173.10 is another area I'm going to take a look at because I can see that it's held there for a little while. Going back to the daily, I can see, all of this price action. We got to remember, NVIDIA's been at all-time highs, and it's really not hurting up here, right? Despite the big red candle we had yesterday, we're still sitting in a very healthy range that keeps it as the biggest company by market cap in the world, and frankly, that the world has ever seen. So, NVIDIA, is still pretty healthy up here. It doesn't mean that we won't get a little pullback, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull back up into this range and become an inside day once the opening bell rings, which might give you some topside if you're a momentum trader. But again, wait for the price action to dictate, because I still, I feel that it's uncertain, especially with the markets, right? We haven't really looked overall. The markets are red this morning with both the SPY and the Qs gapping down slightly. If we sort of zoom in on these charts, we could see, we've just been sort of hanging out here below yesterday's price action, but as I said, I've seen many times, right? Just because we're doing that pre-market, you can see right at the market open, we could pop up and be higher. So I'm not going to try and anticipate what's going to happen. I'm just going to react to what the market gives me and tells me. All right. So that being said, Gary, now we can get to. I know I've thrown you like into the fire here, so my apologies.
All good.
Maybe now you can tell us what our moderators are starting to get in for their lists.
All right, so Jared is looking at PLTR in Tesla and Target as his main, and his secondary is HTZ. That's Hertz, I believe, Wolf and Open. Thor is looking at Amazon and Nvidia, and the futures. Megan only has Tesla on her watch list, which tells me something. She's really liking the price location of where the stock is, so that's interesting. Eamon does not like anything, plus it's a Fed day for him, so he would be looking for momentum plays at the open. Brian is looking at Nvidia, Tesla, PLTR, and the indices. Lenny is looking at Meta, PLTR, MU, AMD, Nvidia, and Tesla. Oh, Lenny's got a long list. That's all about it. We have from the moderators. I am looking at Target, PLTR, and Tesla.
All right, there you go, guys. And Hertz is one that Jared mentioned, so I just looked that up. Yeah, look at this. They announced a deal with Amazon to be able to sell their used car inventory on Amazon, which has got them pushing up so far this morning on healthy volume. 4.5 million shares traded so far. Things not up about 13%. Keep in mind, this is only a $5 stock, so you got to measure the move. Proportionately, but yeah, it actually doesn't look that bad. So Hertz is a potential. I know Jared's going to let us know if it does something fun, and he's actively trading it. Looking at a daily, Hertz has been on a downturn for the last several weeks, so it's got lots of ground to reclaim if it can get higher. So this does look potentially interesting. I'm going to just set a couple levels here so I can keep an eye on this thing. We'll see where it goes. I don't know. I've never traded Hertz, so I don't expect it to be an awesome trader. It feels like it should be a stock that trades on the New York Stock Exchange, but I notice it is listed on the NASDAQ, so we'll see what it gives us. We'll see what happens. Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Well,
PLTR is losing ground. PLTR is losing ground 5 minutes before the market opens. It's going to get interesting. I think PLTR is going to jump to the top of my list.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's looking a lot like yesterday, in fact, in terms of what it's doing. But we'll see. So, guys, that's what we've got. We've got just under 4 minutes until the market open. I'm going to hand it over to Brian in the chat room. I don't see Andrew here yet. I can't remember if he said he was traveling and if he's arranged for someone else to sit in for him. But we know Brian's here. We know Brian's going to go live. So I'll let him go in the chat room. Gary, are you going to be able to stay with me to trade live through the open?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do it. So Gary and I will stick with you through the market open. Good morning, Brian, and I hope you have a great trading morning. Sure, we're here for you, Brian. I don't know if you saw my shirt. Did you? I was. You were one of the key people who I wanted to see that because I know you would get it. Here we go. Recognize that? Hold on. Here I am. There you go. See, I knew you'd get it. Brian correctly guessed it was Monty Python. All right, we'll leave you guys in the chat room. Enjoy. Okay, Gary. It's just you and I continuing here on YouTube. Guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and like. And we also have the donation box. We are actively soliciting donations for to fight children's cancer. Every dollar, every penny of your donation goes directly to the charity. So if you donate, it will help us achieve our $3,000 goal. Really, it's just something we want to do to give back to the community. So if you have an opportunity, please donate. That would be fantastic. All right. We're going to get ready for this open. I don't know whether I could repeat yesterday's trade on PLTR. In fact, I'm a little nervous to try because usually lightning doesn't strike twice, but it does. It looks a lot like yesterday's setup. The price is just different, right? Yesterday I was looking for it to pop up over 172, which it did. Today it looks like I'd be looking for a pop over 153. Now, that being said, it's, I don't know. I'm not sure, Gary.
I don't know. I don't know either. But We will have more information, couple of minutes on that. But look, we are oversold on the RSI. We are oversold on the Bollinger. So I do expect a morning pullback to begin with, but does that sustain? Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, guys, I'm gonna put a couple things on my list here. I'm gonna add Hertz to my list just because Jared mentioned it, and if you know Jared in our chat room, he usually knows what's going on. So we'll keep an eye. What else can I put here? FUTU? No, I didn't like the look of that. Lows, maybe. I really didn't like this SISI, but watch it be like the big mover of the morning. Oh well, we'll see what happens. All right, there's my alarm, which means we have now just 1 minute until this market open. And that means we gotta go here, guys. I am going to be watching PLTR. I think it's probably my best target for this morning. I don't know what else to estimate. Nvidia had a big move down into the open here too. I'm worried about a reversal on the market, frankly, overall, which might pull PLTR higher. We might not get further drop. It's down. It's down a lot over the last 2 days. So, anyways, let's see what we get. Gary, you don't usually trade like right at the open, do you?
At least 30 seconds.
Here's the opening bell. All right, we are live, guys. Let's see what we get. So here's the pop up on PLTR. Seeing some orders a little higher. 135.50. Oof. Yeah. This thing is a little skittish here. Yeah, LTR is popping. All right. I'm going to take a risk here and try and recreate the magic from yesterday. I've gone short on PLTR. I just took a partial. I'm going to aggressively move my stop to break even here. I just don't want to take a lot of risk. You guys can see my trade on the screen. There you go. And I just got stopped out at break even. It's a little too jumpy today. It doesn't look like I'm going to get the same type of move I did yesterday. So I'm very happy with with that as just a quick trade. I'm going to let myself be stopped out on this. I don't want to take too much risk because I really don't know where the market is pushing down. That's what gave me the support. I was looking at, so if you look at the cues here, right, see how it dropped? I thought, okay, with that drop off the open, maybe it'll force PLTR lower, but it doesn't look like it is. PLTR's already had a big decline as we talked about, so we'll see what happens. Nvidia is moving lower here off the open. That looks interesting. Tesla popped up for like just a minute or two, and now it's giving it back. It's pretty much right at yesterday's close, or just above it right now. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of this market. Oh, see, now Andrew wants to go short PLTR. I don't know. It does look weak, but I don't like how it kept popping up by like 50 cents. Well, both in the chat room, both Andrew and Brian have decided they're going short PLTR, so stealing my trade. Now I can accuse Andrew of copying me. Get your own trade, Andrew. Kidding. Andrew's the master trader. We're just along for the ride. Look at Gary, man. Look at that look of intensity on his face.
I just longed PLTR right under VWAP,
Oh,
so
oh, you went long. Okay. You're going against Andrew. You might win this
yeah.
one. It's hard to say. I am out. I am out of my trade, by the way. So you notice we're all watching PLTR,
If
but
we start turning now, I'll be out. What's my
yeah,
entry? 152.90. So I'm a little bit in the money. But then
yeah,
this was my ad. So no, my average is one. Oh, we are at my average. Sorry.
yeah.
So
It's
I
pretty.
okay. All right. Let's go.
You're
Now we
pretty much
need
on
to
the nice
hold.
edge here. You need to push up over 154, then you can breathe a little easier. Hopefully
There
you can
we
get
go.
it.
Come on, come on.
Give it to Gary. Come on, PLTR.
All right. If we start rejecting right here, then I'm out at break even, which it seems like it will be, and I am out.
Oh, good decision. Look at you getting out just as it dropped. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Let's move on to something else. I think we might chop here before we find direction.
Yeah, it does feel like one of those mornings where things are pretty choppy. And I'm not really surprised after you get these relatively
Eh,
large market moves like we had yesterday, right? That strong downward move. Often the
no,
next
this
day,
still
Brian
closed
likes to
over
call them.
EMS.
Brian likes to call them a hangover day, and often that sort of the market licks its wounds. It doesn't move that far. Um, but we'll see.
All right.
It's still early. We're only 5 minutes in. What are you guys doing? Anybody take any trades out there in YouTube? Looks like people are pretty quiet. Somebody's watching AMD. What is AMD doing? Yeah, not much. AMD went up and back down. Nvidia, sorry, went.
Really?
Nvidia
All
actually
right.
at least did had a move down, but not a huge move. I mean, it's only moved about $1. Let's see. AMD. Ben says he made a couple of dollars on Wolf. Not Wolf. Where's this Wolf? Yeah, so Wolf went up this morning. All right. Nothing yet. Yeah, don't force anything. Don't force anything, right? If you don't see your trade, there's no harm, and you're better to sit in the sidelines than to start throwing money away at the market. It can be hard. It can be hard to just sit and watch, but sometimes that's the best move.
What happened to Target here? Target is rejecting the 89. We're back. We are slightly over this consolidation, but it was just a wick 95.50. So let's see.
Target,
ELTR
target.
looks,
It doesn't look great.
yeah. The tape is not rolling on Target. No, it is actually. Sorry. So yeah, this might still be interesting. What is going on with coin? Are we closer to 300? Yes, we are. Rejecting the EMA is still under the VWAP. Rejected. Cam
Intel.
R3.
Wow. Intel's down this morning. It's moving lower here.
LTR. One more move back. Are we gonna hold?
Sure. What the heck is NBY? Is that like a Is that an actual
All
ticker?
right.
Nova Bay Pharmaceuticals. Is that what you're trading? Robotrix? Dollar stock. My goodness, I'll leave it to you, man. I don't want to touch anything with the dollar. Wow, PLTR actually did manage to go a little higher. Now it's just over 155. So it's got a little bit of upward movement here. Hood. Let me take a look at Hood since you're mentioning it. Hood also, like a lot of things here this
Yeah, that
morning.
was the
Looks
problem.
pretty choppy. Big overlapping candles. I don't see a
Are we
lot.
back to? Yeah, below 110. SPY rejected 640. That's not a good sign if we hold here on SPY.
So it's not easy trading today, guys. Even Andrew's getting chopped around here. So um, I'm just scanning through things to see what we can possibly trade here. I mean, PLTR, even this, right? This is compared to yesterday, where we just had a strong directional move. This is not really demonstrating a lot of strength. I mean, it's not super weak either. I mean, we're still red, don't forget, by about $3 or 2%. But I just don't have a good feel for where it's going to go. So, despite my one early trade, this is more typical, right? Yesterday, like I was telling you guys, it was a great trade. I loved it, but it wasn't typical of my trading. This is much more typical of my trading. I get this early trade, get stopped out. Now I wait. I'm probably waiting until 10:30, which is usually when my bigger strategies come into play. So, see what we get.
Slow rejecting. 329 hold. SPY doesn't move up with they might have a big problem. I don't like the price where PLTR came back from 155.77. So I logged PLTR 3 times, and all 3 times I broke even plus a few cents. So I'm actually positive for the day, but
Now,
not the yeah.
you're
I
welcome to
because
share a screen if you want to. You don't have to, but
I'm not sure where to go for that. If you give me half an hour, let me finish the morning trading, then perhaps I can.
no worries. No worries. It's just in Zoom. You just do the share screen.
Uh, let's see.
But don't worry about it. All right, guys. Pretty quiet so far from trading activity, and there are days like that. Can't all be, at least for me, the excitement that I had yesterday.
Yeah, this is what I was scared of. So yeah.
Yeah. LTR said it doesn't look strong. It doesn't look hugely weak either, but it's not as surprising with how much it's
Yeah.
dropped. I
No,
just think that
SPY not sustaining 640 is not a good sign.
right.
In fact,
And look
this
how
is where
quickly
I'm
the
gonna
relative
short a little
volume.
bit of PLTR.
It's going short now. The relative volume dropped off of PLTR very quickly right after that opening
Come on,
candle,
come
and
on.
it's we're
Ah,
not seeing a lot of
no,
that
no.
volume. So that lack of volume can sometimes drive a stock lower, but when you just have consistently low volume, usually you just get this chop. It makes it very difficult to try and get a directional trade. So I'm gonna sit it out. Just looking at Hertz here. Hertz was mentioned. It had that deal with Amazon to sell their cars. Funny how notice with the budget and Hertz recently, all of the news has been about how they're selling their car inventory. It never the business news never seems to be about their actual rental, which I thought was their core business, not buying new cars and selling used cars. But seems to be where all the focus is. How do they get rid of all these inventories that apparently they just keep buying? Although,
Come
now that I
on,
think
sell
about it,
down,
imagine how many
sell
cars Hertz must
down.
have out there. All right. Clearly, Gary's trying to
There
catch the
we go.
PLTR here.
Uh,
Okay.
There we go. All right.
Still, not a big move.
If we come, yeah, it's buying from an area where I don't like where it's buying from. I didn't like where it sold from. I didn't like where it's buying from.
Yeah.
It's indecisive. I'll take the small loss and get out. Whatever. I'll take that loss.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
tough day. It's a tough one, I think, so far. Guys, if you have anything that you see that is moving, when I say guys, I mean that in a gender neutral
sir.
sense. Traders,
I'm
you see,
actually gonna move the buy sell triangles from my top chart because that distracts me, and I'll move it to the secondary chart.
you do what you want. Oh, look at this. See if I can. I can show your chart now, Gary. I don't know what you're looking at. Tesla.
I'm just scrolling around to see if I can find something. PLTR should have stuck around. Yeah, now I see some selling coming on tape on PLTR. Do we hold here? 140, 52, 40. Do we hold?
There you go. Okay, well, we've got an overall market that team is not. I mean, the market is
All right,
definitely weak. We can see the Qs are hitting a low of day. The same thing on the SPY hitting a low of day right now. So, but that's not a very
we're
strong
down
move.
3.7%.
It is down, but yeah, I don't love anything at this point. Nvidia, Nvidia has been directional. Maybe I should have picked Nvidia for my short play. It didn't really give me the pullback I would have been looking for at the open, but if you got in right at the open, you could have held this without ever being tested. So that would have been decent. It's always easy in
Yeah,
hindsight. It's harder to actually take these trades.
I think we still go touch 150 on PLTR. Man, that was a lot of choppy price action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, SPY is losing it. The fact that we were not able to climb over 640 was not a good sign. Corn is down, put is down. Target is up 2% since open. And what is it doing on slightly larger time frames? Nothing, which makes me go.
PLTR for 150. Well, it's quite possible. Look, it finally did drop here.
Yeah.
And, again, hard trade. Not that easy of a warning. It's like Andrew did manage to go short PLTR
Short,
and hold
yeah.
this thing.
Nice.
So
Yeah. No, it was a great price action for short. Yeah, 150. Because for me, the way I'm thinking is for the cup and handle pattern to really form, we need to literally touch 150, like this price, and now start moving back up to 160.
well, when we set our levels pre-market, that 150 was definitely an area I said to watch. So
Yeah.
as you can see, I've got that level
Yeah.
set at 150.02. So when we're heading right there, it looks like. We'll see. But it's close enough. Remember, any level I set is always intended as a range. Doesn't mean that's an exact number. It's just an area that I'm watching. So Jared's predicting that PLTR is going to flush here.
Flush.
It could. I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's any buying here, so it could it is feeling weak.
Yeah, the SPY is flushing too, and that's more concerning. That's what I was saying. If we're not able to reclaim 640, then 635 is in the picture for the day, which is not a good
Oh, look
sign.
at that. There's a push down.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we definitely got below 150. We've just pulled back up above it in PLTR. Andrew is actively trading it. We got a great partial right at the bottom of that spike too at 149.50. Okay, well, PLTR does seem to be the most interesting thing at this point. Markets have sold off. Said Nvidia, if you caught Nvidia, you're pretty happy this morning. You definitely could have ridden this all the way down through a couple of levels that I'd set that didn't seem to have. This first one, the 174.50, definitely it had some support for a brief period of time. The 173.10 level that I set was meaningless. It just pushed right through it. So we'll see where that's going. I didn't look at AMD yet. What's AMD doing? Oh, AMD did eventually sell off. It actually moved up a little before it sold off.
Peter, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Of course. All right. What else? Oh, somebody's going long PLTR. That feels a little aggressive. I wouldn't be going long on it yet. This is what they call catching the falling knife, right? Usually you cut your hand. Got to be careful trying to catch these things. Sometimes once they get going, they just keep going. So I do wish I'd gone short up there at the 153, sorry, area. But I didn't. So what can you do? Sit and watch. Another sell-off.
I'm back in business.
Yeah, welcome back, Gary. Some of the stuff that we were looking at pre-market hasn't. Well, I mean, they've moved, not necessarily as expected. Again, Hertz, which was gapping up, has lost some of that. Now it's at the low of day. Lowe's, which also is gapping up, moved down. I see it got a bounce here. It's now back at VWAP, so it certainly moves with a little more range. Low volume, though. We have under 1 million shares traded on Lowe's. I think I mentioned that you've got to worry about the volume on this type of stock, especially trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Target was another one that we were taking a look at. Target made a little bit of a move higher. Yeah, the price action does not look great to me. I don't love it. So, all in all, despite the directional move we're seeing on the markets here, there's very few stocks that I'm watching that are actually making that strong of a move. Tesla's also, look at this, after chopping, it's moving down here. It's interesting.
Oh, SPY.
Yeah, look at this, big sell-off. We're just continuing on increasing volume. Everything's heading red on my screen. Almost everything. See, where's PLTR at now? Oh my goodness, 148.50. Wow, yeah. Yeah, remember what I said. Don't try and catch this falling knife. You got to get the clear signs of reversal and some capitulation volume, I would say, before you try and reverse it. So don't, just because it sort of blips higher for a second, I wouldn't take that as a sign that this thing is ready to reverse, personally. I mean, eventually I'm going to be wrong, and this thing will reverse, but.
Volume is changing on SPY a little bit. Hopefully we get, what can we get?
Yeah, we did get a big volume spike here on the overall market, so the Qs and the SPY, which would tell me that yes, that's what I like to think of as capitulation volume, right? It could be that it's sort of saying we're getting close or at the bottom here. Look at a 2-minute chart; it looks even stronger here, this relative volume, but still looking weak. Andrew's really getting his move here on PLTR. It's going well. Gary should have held on to that.
I am seeing, yeah, I chickened out.
It's so
Chickened
easy
out.
in hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so maybe a little later, I'll tell you my thought process and where I messed up. Okay, this is capitulation coming in on SPY. What does the daily look like? So let's mark this level right here. 635.28 and 635, I guess. 634.50 would be too far for now. All right, this is a straight sell down.
All right. Well.
This is not promising. But we are gonna go long. How far? Don't do this to me. 40 more cents. 63. Oh, there is no open interest. $63.50.
All right. This does look like we're getting a little bit of a rest here on PLTR. Again, I'm not sure if it's ready to go up yet, but it's certainly paused its decline. We're also getting a bounce on Nvidia and Tesla. Well, tough trading this morning. All right, guys, I'm not seeing a lot that I love. PLTR looks like it's taking a breather. Again, I'm not really convinced it's going to pop back up very strongly. It might, but fairly quiet. What are you guys trading out there? What are you looking at?
I am looking at SPY reaction up 635.20 and 635. If I can get a pullback to 635.21, I might long it with 635 as my stop loss. But it's just too early to look for reversals, and that's why I'm a little hesitant to execute on it. I was looking at XPX options 63.50, but see, there's literally nothing in this area in open interest or volume, which tells me that there's potentially more downside, which is a little scary. So I'm actually not going to look for reversals for at least another half an hour, because we might just chop before there's some more orders on the tape on the upside. But it sure, we have what, a $10 drop in 2 days? 645 to 635. Yeah, we're pretty much at the bottom of the initial range, so it might hold here, might not, but for it to turn and run, it might take some time. But where are we on the daily? On the daily, we are sitting at, you know what?
We're still in a very healthy all-time high territory here. So,
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, what happened? Why is the world crashing? We have 5, 10 points away from all-time high. But I am just looking for a potential reversal play. But it doesn't look like there is one. Doesn't feel the way it dropped. It doesn't feel like it's gonna reverse anytime soon. So I'm just
no.
looking at, yeah, see if we can get 634 or if 635 holds again, then maybe get a quick bounce. But otherwise,
Yeah, we'll see what it does here. PLTR still hanging out here. Remember what I said. Not convinced it's going to have a big bounce in it. Notice how when it pulled back, it did pull back right up to that 150 level, got rejected from it again. And now, tough to say what it's going to do. Andrew's looking at NVIDIA to see if it's ready to
yeah, I'm long.
to bounce up. Looking for a long on that. See what NVIDIA. It did get some volume down here at the low. Came back and retested it on weaker volume, so it might bounce. Could go back up to VWAP. We've certainly seen NVIDIA do that a lot. See if it gets the move.
I didn't get a good fill, and if we hesitate here, I long the SPY. Just
Oh, he did go.
just a momentum play. I'm hoping for at least 630, 670. Come on. You're gonna. Don't do that to me.
All right, guys. Still just watching the market. Just looking at this bounce here in NVIDIA. I can tell you that Andrew did take a bounce on it. Made a good entry on this. He was actually didn't trade NVIDIA directly. He traded one of the derivative ETFs, the NVDL, which is an option if you want. It's a leveraged ETF, 2 times I think leverage on NVDL. It's just a lower price. It's $80 as opposed to 180 or 170 for NVIDIA. Still thinking of NVIDIA as a $180 stock as of yesterday and today. It's only a $170 stock. All right.
All right.
He's got his fingers and toes crossed for the SPY to go higher here.
All right.
Bounce.
This is more of a scrape. I partial one. I didn't get a good fill. Damn, it's okay. What I'm looking for is, can we at least recheck S4 and confirm the breakdown? And if we start holding over the 9 on the 1 and we start capturing the 9 on the 2, can we at least move a little higher? Because this is too steep a drop. Some sort of a pullback is needed, but I will be out if it comes back to my break-even price. And especially if it starts rejecting MAs and starts closing under it and closes under the 9, I'm out. I'm not gonna wait for break even. This was really a scalp. Took 3 contracts, got to $2.50, $2 something on the first partial. Hoping I can get a little bit more. If not, I'm out at break even.
Okay.
See,
Yeah, a
it's
little bit of
even
bounce.
having a hard time even reaching the 9 on the 2. It's just not like a smooth buy up, right? So people are not scared or quick to partial. Now if it starts losing the 9 and it starts coming back to my, if we don't hold here, then I took one more contract off because I reached break even, and I have one contract left, and I'm out. I think we're gonna. I think no, because this was more of a momentum play for me. This stock, SPY. Once you have like, here, let me draw this for everyone. It's just opening up. Once we have a candle like this, the next candle I want it to go here. I don't want it to. And on the 2-minute, all we did is we touched the 9 and are selling back out. That's why I didn't want to. I didn't want to stay in it for longer. And now we're like $1 below my entry. So I made a little bit of money on this. Nothing great. I had nothing crazy, but I saw the buying coming in. We had a little bit of climatic volume, some buys coming in, price holding. So I entered about here, and lack of follow through made me get all out. And
Okay.
now
There you
can we
go.
sell down? Can we hold 635 again or sell off? And this was just consolidation.
Oh, well, good on the momentum play. That got a good move. We see that Nvidia made that pop up and is now heading back down. And PLTR never really bounced despite that little bounce in the market. PLTR, it had early moved to the 150, and look, it's selling off again. New lows. My goodness, I am regretting now not trying another short as it went back below VWAP there, right where Gary had shorted it. Wish I had sort of gone in. Oh well, what can you do?
Look at me just getting out at break even. This was just like I did not
Oh, sorry. Let
even.
me show your screen.
Yeah. Ah,
There. Yeah.
so this was the long trade, and then again out. This was the short trade, and then again out. This was even an ad. I shot it here, added there, and then I don't know why. 147. So are we really gonna do one PLTR? I don't have a. Yeah, this is the. Can we do 140? Yeah. See, we're starting losing 635 now.
Yeah. The next level I have that I'm watching is around 142. So I don't know. See what we
Oh
get. I
yeah, I mean the
suppose
way SPY's selling down, we sure can.
there is a minor level somewhere around 146 here. I suppose we could look for. I mean, I've seen it having bounced a couple of times there, but if you look at a daily chart, you can
Q's are
see
down
here how it.
1.5. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead,
I
go
don't
ahead.
love it, but anyways, we'll see what happens. This is certainly a sell-off, another sell-off day for PLTR. So I didn't get the
Yeah, the reverse cup and
trade that I
handle
was
is
looking for.
forming. And that is the scary part. All right, come on, a little higher, a little higher. And
All right.
are we gonna hold 147 or are we gonna get 144, 45? Come on, 3-bar play. Let's go. Do we have any bids at 146.26? No, we have it for higher. All right, let's see what happens at 146.50. Do we get a pullback or we keep on going down? The SPY is again reaching S6. We might get reaction here. All right, I partial my PLTR short. And let's see how low can we go? Can we touch 139, 140 area? $6 more, $7 more? Unlikely. But how much are we down for the day on PLTR? So we lose 10% yesterday. We are down 7% today. Yeah, any buy up is just is literally a pullback to me. I would not be. If you so think about it this way, right? Just if you are not looking at the market every day and you find out PLTR is down 10% yesterday and you find it out in the evening, and then this morning when you start looking at you finally reach your your workstation and you start looking at the market, what is it doing, and then you see PLTR is down another 7%, the first thing you do is get out. Always sell first, ask later, and ask first, buy later. That's the psychology of the market. Sell first, ask later. What happened? You ask that later, you sell first. It's like, well, whatever. I've moved to break even. I just got a small partial. So this is not great trading. This is just so the thing with chasing entries is when you chase an entry, I immediately move to break even. Once that candle ends, I get what I get. If I don't get, then it's so be it. But I don't, because these are chaser entries, right? Had I be shorting here at the loss of the 9 and holding it, I would have still kept my stop loss and honored it. This is a chasing entry because my true stop loss is at like 150. Yeah, that's $3. That's not going to happen. I'm not giving it $3 for what? A $9 move from 147? That's been unrealistic. All right, so SPY is again at a price which is of interest, 63.50. We are gonna give it one more, come on, pull back a little. No, then we're gonna give it one more try on the long side and see if we can get at least back to 635 or higher. No, we didn't touch it. Oh, this was an early entry. But I'm gonna hold this.
You're looking at Tesla here, or no? What are you looking at? Sorry,
SPY.
Nvidia.
No, SPY.
SPY.
Yeah. It's probably gonna take me a couple of shots for the reversal, if there is one. Else, it's just gonna be a red day.
Yeah, it's spiked down on Nvidia after it broke low again. Look at this, guys. Nvidia, as it decided it was hanging here, and then bam, on that volume too. Now that's capitulation type volume. That's about the same volume we had at the open on Nvidia. So it'd be interesting. I'd love for Nvidia to come back and retest this 169. Then there might be a reversal. But gotta wait and see what it's gonna do. LTR
No,
is just
I was
still
too early.
selling off.
I'm again too early in this.
146. You know what? If you told me yesterday that we're going to see PLTR at 146, I'm not sure I would have believed you.
Yeah, I agree. But had you told me a year ago you're going to see PLT at 146, I would have not believed that either. Oh, the matter of perspective.
Yep. A difference a day can make, right?
Yeah, no, what I was saying is, had you told me 1 year ago we'll see PLTR at 146, I would have not believed that either.
You know what? Fair point. Fair point. Absolutely. Yeah, you just have to go back. So what does it look like a year ago? Let's see. PLTR. Yeah, if we go back 1 year ago to today, what was it trading at? It would have been trading at about $27. 30, maybe 32 at the high here. So yeah, that's good, good perspective to have there. Well, The Economist last week or 2 weeks ago had a big article saying, is Palantir the most overvalued company of all time? That's a big statement. It seems like a little bit of a hyperbole there, but I mean, hey, gotta sell magazines. I like this move on Nvidia though. We're not getting the retest I would be hoping for an entry. I love this capitulation volume though. Again, it's rare you see higher volume than you get right at the open on any candle. So
Nvidia is 169. Interesting. Target is still holding this price point. Everything's sold. It's still holding this 96.50 to 97 price range.
it's true. No.
Tesla 317. Are we gonna get 317? Yep, as you said, we spoke about this. If we start losing 330, it comes back to this. And everything sold off, and the PLTR short scared me. And missed the opportunity for the day.
Yeah, sometimes that can happen. PLTR, and you were right there, Gary. Those are the ones I find the worst trades, right? When you were right there, you were in the trade. All you had to do was hang on. I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight, but I get it, right? At the moment, you're like, I don't know if it's going to work, and the price, it was choppy because it had moved all the way down here to what, a
So,
152, and then bounced back up $1. And in hindsight, you could sort of look at a chart and say,
so
"Oh my God."
I'm going to draw something, which is what scared me and why I wanted to get out. Otherwise, I would have held. So if you start drawing this Fibonacci line, and this is where I got out, is because we are roughly hitting back the support area of 78 and bought back up, which to me meant we can actually go back to 160. That's why I was willing to get out instead of holding to it. And I was actually thinking if it goes back over VWAP, maybe I can long it again. But again, as I remember, SPY was under 640, which is not a good sign. Look, all we did on SPY today is, as you mentioned in the morning show, either it's going to be gap and go, and if gap and go doesn't happen, then we consolidate and move back up. It was literally gap and go. So that's what happened. So missed the morning move. Now you can probably scrape a reversal out a little bit, but that's about it.
Yes, indeed. All right, I'm still watching Nvidia here to see what it wants to do. If maybe this is the retest. It's not retesting as low as I would like. I'm not sure. I didn't want to take a risk at entering this at the 169.50.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Guys, we're just watching. At least I am just watching, waiting to see what's going to happen. Oh, you think reversal on PLTR? I don't know. Don't be too aggressive on these reversals here. PLTR just doesn't look.
Yeah, 1.5.
Doesn't look like there's buyers out there for it today.
Yeah, I think it's all day sell. Literally should. I think the close price should be low of the day on PLTR. That's how I think.
Yeah.
Does not mean that we can move back up and then come back down. We definitely can do that, and you might get a reversal play, but I would not be that keen personally on reversals, especially as long as the EMAs are like so far apart. I'm not that keen on reversals. It's probably, if there is a reversal, it goes back up, rejects somewhere, comes back down, holds, and then starts going back up. I'd rather wait the distance between EMAs to close for a true reversal to start forming. All right, now we are doing something interesting on the SPY.
We are getting a little bit of a bounce on NVIDIA. See if we can head back up to the new VWAP, which is just below 172.
Again, we are.
Yeah. Maybe this is where our shop for the day sets in.
63.50. 63.30. Yep. Let's see.
Quiet here.
So either we reject right here or we go back to VPOC about 636. You're too oversold to not bounce. Yeah, you're too oversold to not bounce. But doesn't mean it needs to happen now.
Yeah, true. Now, that being said, we are getting a little bit of bounce finally. NVIDIA, you know, if I'd been a little bolder, I could have taken that long. But I wasn't. So I'm okay with that, actually.
Start going over the earlier swing, not a swing low, but a local sell-off. And then we are in business again.
See what PLTR is doing. PLTR is getting a little bit of a bounce. We're not out of this range where it's really been, you know, sort of just chopping over the last 10 minutes. So.
Yeah, now we are closing over the 9 on the 2. That's a classic algo response to start buying and start getting low of day as stop loss, which would mean we can go back to 638. Unlikely, but let's see.
Gary Nev is asking, how do you define oversold?
Oversold from essentially, if you start looking at the SPY on the 60, these are the Bollinger Bands. So when it starts going under 30, it starts entering oversold territory. In this case, we were at 18, which is oversold according to every single classic definition. Then on the cam pivots, we are at S6, which is kind of so to say a support area, and that would like the last support area, which would sort of come into play when you are oversold. See, if you start looking at the 60-minute and you see how far away we are from the EMAs. We have had a $6 move that's 1% in 45 minutes. So a bunch of reasons why I'm thinking the way I am. And I am not a reversal trader unless something like this happens, and then you start seeing volume change. Otherwise, I don't play reversals. I am long SPY again, but seems like I'll break even again. So let's see what happens. So those are the reasons I was saying we are oversold, though.
All right.
But I'm not looking for a move back to 640. I'm just looking for a move to the EMAs. Maybe on 5 minute, do we have, yeah, on 5 minute, at least we have like a doji and a hammer. And now can we at least get the EMA, like 635.50, let's call it, which is really a move from a dollar. It's a $1.50 move. It's not that bad actually. But at least get me, and now we start losing it. I am out I'm not gonna hold my trade. On reversals, I want, because theta comes into play, if I get break-even price, I'm out again. We might easily come back here and then start going up, but my $21 entry might actually become 10. So that is why I don't want to hold. I'd rather re-enter if the price comes back, I want to be out. And the more time we spend there, the more concerned I get. But as long as we hold over 634.70, I am in game. And now we are back to break even. But does this hold or not? I don't know. Yeah, see, we held right here, which is what I'm looking for. This gives me confirmation that we can actually make it till 635.62. So let's just mark that level. 635.62 would be the open price. Yeah, 57. Okay, fine. 57.62 to 636.86. And now if we suddenly sell down, we sell down, but that's part of trading, right?
Yes, it is.
I do need some volume, because the lack of volume also tells you something, that there's not enough interest in buying. And we still closed over the 9. You see that? We held the 9 on the 1, not even on the 2, and we're holding the middle Bollinger. This is just a move up, a little bit of pullback. Now, we're going to get volume one way or another right now in the next 2 candles. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's see what NVIDIA is doing. Oh, NVIDIA get up over 171 briefly.
We're in
Well, I missed
indecision
this
mode right
NVIDIA
now.
long. I'm just gonna write it down as a missed opportunity because should have got away. That's all right, guys. We're gonna have Andrew and Brian joining us here soon. So, and then we segue into Thor and Dr. V. So, and I loved Dr. V. Not only does she knows her stuff, she's an active trader, but we also get to figure out again what classic rock tee is she going to be wearing today. She seems to have a big collection. AC/DC, Metallica. What else have I seen? Iron Maiden, I think she had at one point. Be big into metal. eye Nvidia here. I see it's pulling back again, so that push higher. Well, I mean, may not be over, but the market's moving down again. I guess it stopped
Yeah.
you out again, Gary.
Yes.
Yeah, see the SPY here.
All right.
Came right back down.
Let's focus on something else. Oh man, PLTR is down to 145.
Yeah, just broke through 145. That's it is weak, isn't it?
They're gonna do 145, then we're gonna do 140, especially if the market supports it.
Wow. All right. We are just weak and more weak today. I'm surprised we got a second weekday in a row. I didn't really expect it, to be honest. I thought at best we could expect a mild sell-off. This is fairly strong, as it
No,
turns out.
this is yeah, this is more than mild.
Mm-hmm. Right. Little bounce on PLTR. I mean, this thing's got to bounce eventually. We did get a little bit more volume on that last push down. Again, not huge, but a little more compared to the average that we've been seeing. So you can see that little volume spike that we've got here. Where's my cursor? There it is. So what did we get in that minute? 1.3 million shares versus an average of about 700,000. Why don't I have the average in there? Let's put this in here.
We're down 1% on the SPY, give or take. Yeah, that's a lot.
Put that in there. There you go. Our average volume was about 690,000 shares. Or twice that. All right. What else we got? Nvidia's just holding here. I wonder if it'd be interesting to know if Carlos was here, would he have gotten a trade on this? I'm not sure. I think his one opportunity might have been on PLTR when it dropped below VWAP. That is a type of trade that Carlos would like.
That is especially with the confirmation. Yes, especially with the confirmation, that is type of a trade that Carlos would take.
Yeah. So I think he probably would have been sitting in this quite nicely because he's pretty good at just putting you would have put a stop up above VWAP and could have just held right into this. Been quite happy. So there you go. He missed it on vacation. I'm sure he's enjoying his vacation though. He probably doesn't regret it. Nvidia's pulling back down here a little bit again. If it breaks the 169.50 to me is the sign that it's probably going to break the low of day. So we'll see where it goes. And we said PLTR. Oof, what a sell-off. Oh, now the SPY here, the market is once again showing a little bit of support. It's hard to put too much faith in it moving. Eventually it's got to pump higher, but I don't know which one of these bounces it's going to do it on.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, we're in prime support area for now on SPY, so let's see what happens. I have rarely, if ever, seen SPY close under S6. Actually, that's not true. It happened yesterday.
Well, rarely. That was one of the rare times. It can still be a rarity.
I don't think we lose 1% 2 days in a row. Did we lose 1% on SPY yesterday? I think we did. From top to down, we definitely did.
We could have. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we did. What was yesterday's move? Open to close. We lost $4. Well, not quite. We didn't quite lose 4% from open to close yesterday.
Oh, okay.
We lost about $4, and yeah, so that would have been about 0.75%. Today, though, so far we're on track for. I mean, we're much closer. We're about 0.9%. We got $5 lost.
Gary,
Over
did you take a
$5.
short on PLTR? I know you were watching it.
I did, but then I broke even, so that kind of sucked. I took the long, I broke even. I took the short, I broke even. So yeah, I didn't catch it, and it was such an obvious easy trade, to be honest.
I know it's easy when you look back at it too. I mean, it did have a bit of a wicked pop at the open. Some of the people that are trained to buy the dip came in there and pushed the price up, but then sellers quickly took control.
Yeah.
Good morning, Gary. How are you?
Good.
You can join in the chat room as well. That would be super nice.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting all this stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you can give us your screen, Andrew?
Yes, I'm going to give the screen. How was your trading day, guys, in YouTube?
Not so good. I missed the PLT short, which was easy setup. Then I had one reversal SPY attempt, which I lost a little bit of money on. Net green for the day, but it's not nice green.
Nice. Well, we killed a really amazing short on PLTR. It's one
I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, at the open, you shorted that, and I got short as well. So because we saw this big drop, like an engulfing, but I got stopped out. And then I flipped my position to the long, popped up, made some money, added heavily for a fund 156, and then it down, I got stopped out. So that's 2 trades for me. So 1 short stop out, 1 long stop out. So that was 2 losses. And then I saw in a 5-minute chart, it became a strategy that is one of actually my favorite strategy in the universe. It's called bearish engulfing. And bearish engulfing is actually in my new book. I have a complete trade book. So that becomes a bearish engulfing on a perfect setup on a stock that is down 10%. So I went short heavy size. I added more heavy size, and then boom, going down all the way to 143. So we got $7 so far, more than that.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going partial more now here at 144. Yeah, I had a really, really big day.
Yeah, it's super weak.
Yeah, partial more. I think I'm going to get to S4 at 142.50. I think S4 is at 142.50. I'd like to get there. And, you know, it's amazing that how PLTR is respecting all of these levels. We discussed that in the chat room. So now I clean all the levels. I think you see all these important levels respected and then breaking down. So guys, how's Gary in YouTube? If you like Gary in YouTube, guys, give it a like for Gary that is covering for Carlos. And
pulled in last minute. So Gary has been doing an excellent job, being that it was like he had about 10 minutes notice. So
Gary, are you coming to Thailand?
Yeah, I am.
Nice. Are you bringing a partner, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend?
No, my kids' school would still be on, so my wife cannot come. But I mean, no, I'll just be me.
Okay, that's good because I haven't actually met you in person. Have
I? We have met, but that was like a couple of years ago. 2-3 years ago when you had the event in New York.
That's when you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Yes. Absolutely.
You can rent a wife when you're there.
The feature of Thailand, eh?
That is so true.
All
And
right.
it doesn't even
so
have to be a woman if you don't want it.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
It can be.
yeah.
It is called.
Stop. We're gonna end up in court with Peter and Brian. In Supreme Court with these two.
Making you uncomfortable?
All right. So PLTR, guys, let's get back into character. PLTR is gonna go to 142.53. I'm still short in there. Brian, how was your trading day? Oh, I had another trade on NVIDIA. Nobody moves. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, this is actually interesting. NVIDIA had a trade at what was that level that I took NVIDIA? So
168-ish, 168.50.
Oh, it was S4 actually. Yeah. So I took that trade. So here's on NVIDIA. Look at my chart. You can see in my screen on. So this level here on NVIDIA 170.89-ish. I took that level along here through NVDL. So if you look at this level, so NVDL bounced back from exactly that level. So as you see here, I took that quick scalp on NVDL from 80 to 81. So that was a really nice trade as well that we did. And then after that, it collapsed. And here's a funny part on the NVIDIA as well. We were talking about the levels for people to see. This 168.55, you guys can see. What is this level that bounced back like a bus? You see that with heavy volume? So when you go into the daily chart, you realize what is that. And that level is the gap, the top of this gap. These gaps, the gap levels usually are, there's gapped up from here. So this is the, bottom of that gap. So you can see actually bounce back from there.
Yeah, I got a bounce on NVIDIA around 10:15. It threw a bunch of wiki dojis, which was an indication to me there were buyers, and the sellers were kind of running out of ammunition, at least at that point anyway. So we're taking another leg lower on the SPY and the Qs right now. Just seems like a bit of a buying strike today. Nobody's willing to step in here. Nobody's willing yet, anyway.
Certainly not yet.
Any question in YouTube? Any question about life in general?
I have a question. Do you want to do giveaway today?
Giveaway?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do 2 giveaway today. We do a membership giveaway, 1 year full elite membership. We do also give away 5 audiobooks. And the members of Lamb One Garbage Truck, you're gonna get 1 free Thailand trip. And the Thor, I think, is coming and do a giveaway for 1 hour mentorship.
Oh. All right.
So
what do you want
there's a
today's
lot of,
hashtag to be?
Yeah.
Thailand
So if you go
is
to the
worth
main
its weight
YouTube
in
channel,
gold.
there's a place that you can actually join the Lamb One Garbage Truck. Carlos created that one. And you get some perk in there, like for example, some of the recaps that members are putting up there. And we're gonna do mentorship, some giveaway to support the channel. It's like only $5. But the supporting the channel is YouTube is rewarding the channels that have more community engagement and community base. Because there are so many recently with AI, now there's so many YouTube channels that are creating videos with AI voice. They're calling faceless YouTube channels. And they're just constantly uploading, content in there. And YouTube doesn't like that. So YouTube is now rewarding the channels that actually building a community, like emoji membership, different type of levels and stuff. So
all right, I see you guys are going crazy. Hashtag BBT. That's what you need to do. Hashtag BET.
So hashtag BBT. So let's not do it. Give it not right now. Let's give it 10 more minutes. If anyone wants to
Okay.
sign the Lambo and garbage.
Buy.
Yeah, I'm thinking along the same
So
line.
7-ish%. So it's really the tech sector that's taking the brunt of this today. You can see that in PLTR, NVIDIA, AMD, all the Mag 7 names are all red.
So it's in YouTube, guys. So if you go to the YouTube main channel, I'll show it.
Put it in the chat room for everybody. Just go there. That's where you put the hashtag. That's where you join Lambos and garbage trucks. Make it happen. See a lot of people using the hashtag BBT. That's perfect. Got lots. A bunch
So
of
we're gonna
entries.
do
Keep them
everyday
coming.
funded accounts, free funded account for Lambo and garbage trucks. One day, like it would be 25 per month. All right, PLTR is really finding a bottom, but I think S4 is within our reach, Brian. I think S4 is within our reach on PLTR, which is at 142.53. So I'm gonna put an order there. I have 500 shares at 142. Oh, no. There you go. Actually, I don't need to put an order here. There you go. I'm partitioning here. Nice.
Yeah,
I'm already
just
partitioning.
another
I
leg.
didn't need to put the order.
There go the Qs again and the SPY again, dropping again. Just no love. Nobody's buying.
What a day. What a day. Megan, what did you trade?
Yeah, what another big day. I think she was watching Tesla.
Wow, Megan did a really nice
Tesla
short.
actually looked like it was Tesla looked like it was gonna go up today, just but again, just joined the rest of the market sell off.
140 on PLTR. I think it's very possible. Yeah. I mean, the way that it's setting off today, I think so. I mean, I don't have much shares left, only 2,000 shares, but yeah, it might actually
Yeah,
hold it.
this 142.50 is S4. It seems to have bounced off there. There is a large order at 145 right now. I'm not saying it's going to get there, but somebody's stuck an order there anyway. Just no follow through on any of this sort of buying. Just keep an eye on the NMA on the 2-minute charts. You can just see we're just every time we get there, we just reject. Same with PLTR. Same with
It's a-
Tesla.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
we're just following the 9 on the 2 on the SPY. There's like literally no relief on it.
No. We did try to get above it at one point around 10:20. We kind of popped above it, but again, didn't manage even to get to the.
Started this morning to try and clear it out, but Yeah, it's
No,
pretty
here's
intense.
what we noticed that actually one of the things that we noticed yesterday was that because trading terminal uses the browser cache, um, and there was some issues with our code, and all of our computers were really slow because we are developers, and then realized that we have to actually fix this because everybody who's using trading terminal, after sometimes if you don't close the browser, you might actually becomes slow because we're overusing the browser memory. Well, we're gonna fix it today. So that's another thing is that a lot of platforms like DAS is a very amazing platform is because it's Windows based. So you're using the memory of the motherboard. But the web-based applications are really limited with the browser memory and how much you can cache on it. What's happening here? TQQ is really
Peter,
selling off. I really selling off.
yeah,
Potential
Peter needs more RAM.
reversal on something, huh, Brian? What do you think?
Well, it kind of looks like Tesla's trying to find a bottom here. Again, through kind of a weird doji there at the couple minutes ago.
Aurora joined us, Lamb on Garbage Trucks. Thanks, Day One. Thanks, welcome. Welcome, KG. Thank you so much for joining and supporting the channel. Art Cascadia, thank you. Yeah, thanks guys for joining the Lamb on Garbage Truck, for supporting the channel. Really, really, really grateful. Gary, did you have a green day? I didn't get
I just traded PLTR, which was not, I mean, I had a great entry. I just chickened out, and I tried a SPY reversal. I'm slightly red for the day, but nothing, probably just, I don't think so there's any reversal for now. Maybe if there's a reversal, I think it should be around this area, about 633.25 on the SPY. But let's see. Just right now, I'm slight red, but it's not the red which bothers me. It was just that PLTR gave such a beautiful confirmation, and I had the right entry, and I got out at break even for no reason. That's what I'm a little unhappy with.
That's exactly the situation. Bad trading or bad trade management or not sticking to your discipline is more painful than loss.
Yeah.
Like for me, money doesn't matter anymore. Like
Yeah,
I have a lot of money in my bank account, and I can probably enough for the rest of my life. But I like to come every morning and I like to trade good. And I like to show it to people on YouTube and do the recap and newsletters and stuff. That's what drives me, that good writing book is for me, like, I want to see if I can actually write my strategies in a book. Because when you put your strategies in a book, it means that you know how to teach. And people who teach are actually people who understand things. Like there are some big traders out there in social media and YouTube. They're famous. There's so many followers, but I've never seen any trade from them. Never seen a strategy, never seen a recap. So the real good traders need to be able to teach, to show every single day. Like, you see, this is my trade. And I think there's value in it that people trade every single day live and then show it to people. Yeah, Zach, for example, for me, like 10 million, 15 million doesn't make a huge difference in my bank account. I'm not going to become billionaire to hang out with Elon Musk, and I don't want to become into that class of group of people. From now on, anything is just, for me, it's all right, PLTR is doing a bounce. Market is, something is telling me that I should get a reversal on TQQ, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm of a similar mind.
Do you want to do something together? Degen trade?
TQQ. I don't know, Andrew. I need to see more confirmation. Maybe we just chop here for some time before the reversal.
Yeah,
because I want to express it in options. My problem is the theta might kill. Yeah, that might kill me more than the actual price.
Yeah, you're right. I think that you're right. But you know what? I'm gonna get some TQQ here anyways, 84.50. Because I am a DJ in live. And I might actually hold it even on the swing. All right.
Yeah, it
All
might
right, a few
be
minutes
might
to
be
the
a
open.
worthwhile trade.
Sorry, a few minutes to the close of our session.
Yep.
We're gonna do in YouTube, we're gonna do 6 drop. The first 5 would be for free audiobook, hashtag BBT. And the last one would be 1 year free BBT Elite membership. What do you think about that?
Sure.
There you go. And TQQ just popping up. That's good.
Okay. You want to do
All right.
that now?
Remember,
When
guys,
do you want to do
like
this?
the video. No, do it now because I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
Guys, who like the video?
Let me just get over to the screen here. One sec. Okay, guys, we're getting ready for the giveaway. Last chance here to get your entry in. Hashtag BBT. Put
And
it in now.
must like
Plus,
the
you got to give
video.
us a thumbs up. Give us a like.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you've got a multiplier, so you got a bit better chance if you're a member of Lambos and Garbage Trucks, which is the join button at the bottom of the just below the video on the left. See, a lot of you are getting in last minute here. That's good.
All right.
10 seconds, and then we're gonna go.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go, Peter.
Okay, here we go. First winner, Bono.
Bono, congratulations. Email
Bono
carlos@traders.com.
Yeah. All right. So that's first audiobook. Second audiobook. Here we go. Suhail Sharma.
Congratulations.
So congratulations. Third winner here. Ahoya. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but Ioa. I'm not trying to say that. Too many vowels for me. But there you go. Third book. Fourth. Here we go.
Make sure to like the video, guys. Make sure to like the video because not everybody's there. Like only 300 people are in the row because you haven't liked the video.
Okay, our last audiobook for today goes to Karma Urung. All right, and this is the big one, guys. 1 year free BBT Elite membership. And our winner of that membership is Tony.
Tony, congratulations, Tony.
All right, congratulations, Tony. Congratulations to everybody. Right. Again, what you need to do to collect, you need to email Carlos at bearabletraders.com to collect, especially for the audiobooks. Andrew, for the 1 year free membership, does Carlos take care of that as well?
No, we can email Andrew at bearabletraders.com. Was it Tony? Yeah.
So Tony, you need to email Andrew at bearbolttraders.com. He can connect you, hook you up for that 1 year free BBT Elite membership. So congratulations to everybody who won those memberships and enjoy or won the membership and of course the 5 audiobooks. So the audiobooks, email Carlos. The Tony, you need to email Andrew. So don't worry if you're not sure, email me. I'll direct you to the right place.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm going to sign off. I'm long TQQ from 84.50. So it's Gary for covering. Great trading day. And we have 2 special. It's amazing.
See you guys.
2 of my favorite people, Vanessa and Thor. Thor, are you coming to Thailand or no?
I will unfortunately not be able to attend Thailand. I've heard it's beautiful and lovely this time of year, but it is very, very far, and I have little children that unfortunately do not have a babysitter that will tolerate them for that long.
What about Dr. Vanessa? Dr. Vanessa, are you joining us in Thailand?
Hold on, I gotta add her in here. Here she is. Okay.
Next time.
All right, perfect. In that case, I'm gonna go. Thor, thank you so much, and handing it over to.
Yep, thank you, guys.
Hey, Brian, are you going to Thailand?
Who's that?
Brian, are you going to Thailand? Is the Prophet of Profit getting his Thailand on?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm going to
Nice.
be there. Yeah,
You're gonna get a little
for
Thailand diddly
sure.
doodly. Love it.
Yes, ma'am.
So get lots of
Yeah,
pictures and we'll hold down the fort while y'all all have fun. Us parents of kids and stuff up here. So
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Enjoy.
I know. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, we get some more people talked into going. It
well, for
is a
sure.
long way though from the East Coast. I know,
Man, it's a
Oh,
even
thing.
a long
It's
way from here.
and she's Quebec City and I am, we're both East Coast. So it's like,
Yeah,
if it takes more days to get there, then I'm gonna be there. More days to get back. That's kind of my cutoff switch on whether I take a trip or not.
yeah. Fair enough.
all right, Thor,
But
you got a
yeah, man.
screen for us?
I have one. It is in theory sharing, although
Exactly, Sean.
I need to get my YouTube up too, so I can say hi to everyone in
All right.
YouTube Landia.
See you guys.
All right,
Yeah,
later,
see you, Brian.
Have a great day. Thank you, Gary, for jumping in last minute. We really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Gary's jumping into the chat room now
Gary the baller.
for his regular shift.
Awesome. So I think we are transitioning here and we are good to go. So YouTube, everybody, hello. Good to see everybody. Welcome. Members of Garbage Trucks and Lambos, welcome. It is Ronald said he can babysit while we go, Vanessa. So I think we'll be okay.
Sure about that.
So I don't think you know what you're signing up for, Ronald. You never met my daughter, for the record. But welcome everybody. It's Wednesday, which admit it, it's your favorite segment of the week, right? It's my favorite segment of the week. So, and that's because we've got Dr. V rocking Metallica today. Never go wrong with Metallica.
Never.
So that's amazing. So Dr. V, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm tired. I went to bed too late last night, but I'm good. And you?
Also too late last night. Actually, I kept getting all of these like really funny like reels sent to me by a friend of mine, and it's just really hard to sleep when you're just laughing like that. So yeah, it was a great time. How did you trade today? How was your trading day?
I'm patiently waiting for my target on PL, so platinum.
Ooh.
I'm short, and it's not moving much. So we'll see.
Beautiful. I got the Dow Jones little YM call today.
Of course, I saw that, but I was in my position already.
All right, so I got me a lovely R32 S3.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play.
So let's go. So I think like this will get us into today's topic pretty well. One of the things I was working on with one of my mentees was actually this moment when we got near the bottom of my chart and it bounced only like maybe 3 or 4 ticks away from my target and pulled away. And then when it hit my target, and so we were talking about like the emotional ramifications of when we're in here, and then it kind of reminded me of like just the acceptance of risk. And then that kind of got me to what you and I had spoken about yesterday about like doing as like a topic, like really talking about risk and going into there. So everyone in the YouTube room, Vanessa had this great Dr. V idea. She gets inspiration as she goes around and just learns about this stuff and encounters articles and papers. So she was like, I really want to talk about risk. So I think that's a really good subject today. What do you guys think? Thumbs up, likes, all of that stuff. What do you guys think? Let's talk about risk today and how to manage it, how to put it on, right? How to get big, how to stay small. Like what do we got to do here, right, Dr. V?
Yeah, hi everybody. I hope you're good. And like we always say, welcome home. Yeah, I got inspired last weekend by Martha Stewart, and we know, right? But still, she can be very inspiring. And she hangs out with Snoop Dogg, which is cool.
That's right. I love Martha Stewart, man. She's my dog, man. Martha's great. Out of all the rappers she hangs out with, she's the only one who's been to jail.
So I got inspired because she has a master class, and she was talking about, are we taking risk or in life, or are we taking a chance to get something better, right? I guess she took a lot of risk and chances in her life, but I think this is inspiring because sometimes we see risk as very scary, but I think the real risk is rather not taking the chances, the opportunities to become who you want to become. And sometimes it takes many paths until you find the one. And again, how long that path is going to last, we don't know. But we need to go there in order to find something, right? Even if it's not the destination per se, there is something, there's a building block waiting for you there to bring you further along your personal path, your personal legend, to quote Paulo Coelho, right? One of my favorite book of all times, The Alchemist. So yeah, I got inspired by that. And I wanted to talk about risk in trading, but also risk in life.
So that's so perfect, Dr. V, what you're saying there, right? Because we actually talked about The Alchemist yesterday, specifically. And, you know, one of the things I said, like, you know, as they come here with us is we're not necessarily trying to like there's lots of places and books you can go where you can just go buy technical information, how to learn the thing, how to do the thing. But, you know, we're kind of like your market alchemists here. You know, we're here trying to teach you the language of the world of the market and how to interact with it appropriately, right? It's not just about, is it a high, is it a new low, but, you know, what happens in there, and then taking you through this unique journey, because every trader ends up being like, is like a snowflake. We're all just a little bit different. We look similar, we do similar things, but these little differences, you know, and this is that journey, that personal legend that you have to find and go on. You know, because, you know, one part I liked about the book, right, is that you actually find the treasure right where you are. But if you didn't go on the journey, you wouldn't have found it,
Say
right?
that for people who haven't read it.
No, but without the journey, you wouldn't have found where it is.
Okay.
So, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Spoil the book.
If you haven't read the book, it is one of the most amazing books. It's like such good for personal discovery. I also, because I'm kind of a hopeless romantic, kind of like really like, there's like this really good like kind of underlining like cute theme in it that I really like. But anyway, it's
Not
a good
that
one.
you're spoiling anything.
But I'm not spoiling anything. I actually said spoiler alert, so it's happening now. So you people.
And just before we continue on that topic, when we see on your chart here that you almost got filled like 45 minutes before actually getting filled. No, it is a 1 minute, sorry. So like maybe 20 minutes after getting filled, like if you look at your chart while in a trade, this is very difficult, right? Because they do that on purpose.
Mhm.
I had that yesterday, the same exact thing yesterday on CL. Like
Dude.
2 ticks before my target. And again, like it was a good target. I knew the level was good. 2 ticks. And I was like, okay, so what do I do now? Should I bail? Should I? And I came back to, this is a mechanical thing. I'm trying, again, this is very personal, but the way I try to manage my trades is to be mechanical, because someday I want to have a system that trades for me. So I cannot touch anything because I'm gathering data. And let's say that if I have 10 trades of CL this month, I will look at my data and say, oh, every time I have a target with CL, I guess I should be 1 point higher or lower. So every time we are in a trade, it is learning. We are learning something.
Well, so and I'm with you here. So for me, what I was talking with my mentees with as well is we were talking about the concept of behavioral slippage, right? Like so like I have it pulled up on my screen here so you can see my buy on the 8 contracts of MYM I was holding was at 44,884, right? And the low where it pulled back from was 44,888, right? That's pretty close, right, for YM. right? So, but today it's 4 points. Tomorrow it's 8.
Yeah.
The next day it's 12. Maybe now it's 3R instead of 4. Maybe it's 2 instead of 3. Maybe it's no R. Maybe I just take it off. Like, at what point, you know, is this behavioral slippage going, you know? So it's like, for me, and this is my main concern, was I would almost rather lose this trade entirely, right?
Mhm.
Just to reinforce the behavior, right, of holding
Exactly.
for targets rather than just start slipping a little bit at a time.
Amen. This is so true. And I share, you know, well, you know that I share the same idea, because if you micromanage your trade, are you sure the next time you will have the same condition, the same mindset, the same set of criteria to manage your trade? This is too difficult, right?
Exactly.
It's almost impossible. How can you make sure you're going to be in the same exact conditions to do so? So I would recommend, and I know it sounds sometimes a bit crazy. You're like, yeah, but come on, I should put my trade at break even. I should exit my trade. Well, yes, okay, but if you want to do so, be very specific, very standardized, and replicate the same exact recipe to exit a trade before target also. Like, whatever you do and however you want to manage a trade, this is very personal, but make it standardized, like a computer could do it for you, like almost, or exactly.
Yeah, I think you had said in one of the sessions I really liked, you had told me about that you were working with the mentee, and you know, and it's basically like, you know, it'd be like, you know, you should be able to like explain what gets you in and out. Basically, like imagine like as if your grandmother was explaining to you how to like cook spaghetti. You know, I mean, you should be able to just walk up to him and say, hey, I'm looking for this condition, under this condition, this condition, this condition, go. Right. And every time, and this is where Dr. V's, good morning, Inti. This is where Dr. V's analogy of the recipe, I think, is so perfect, because, you know, imagine being a 5-star Michelin chef, right? The expectation for the execution of that meal is going to be at the highest level. You know, I mean, you got people dropping real money. They're coming for a real experience, and you've got real pressure to execute. Any variation on that recipe, one way or the other, and you're misrepresenting an entire company. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's like an entire brand is in your hands every time you serve it. It's a real thing. People don't give these chefs, like, especially like these really good restaurants, like, but it's the execution of that recipe. How do they know it? They know how long to cook it, what temperature, what cut they're looking for, how they're going to season it, exactly how much of which. I mean, it's incredible, you know?
And yeah, and because the market has so much information and so much
I think it's full of
uncertainty, it's full of information out there. We never know what will happen. So we have no choice. Have you read the Sean V comment? This is so funny. Have you read it?
A Michelin chef recipe with a sprinkling of luck.
No, he's saying Thor
Oh,
spoiling
yeah.
books.
Thor casually spoiling books. Maybe that's a sub theme of Wednesdays. It's true, actually. It is true.
Or movies.
We're gonna start all new sessions with a spoiler alert. Movies and books and songs may all be ruined within the context of this podcast.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. Anyways, let's go back to risk. So, guys, in the chat, how would you define risk in your trading or in your life in general?
Define risk as it means
Maybe
to
like
you.
1 word, 2 words, like something short. Like, how do you define risk? Wow, platinum is not giving it to me.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. Come on. Nobody's there. Nobody wants platinum today. Is it lunch break? No, not even. Just press the button. You know you want to go there.
Like, just do it already. Like, what the heck?
Um,
Platinum, you can't trade on a 1-minute chart, for the record.
Oh
Anytime
no.
Anytime you're looking at platinum, you gotta go like 5 minute or 3 minute or something. I mean, you gotta get it's if not, it just looks like algo trading.
But I don't know how you can trade futures in 1 minute chart. It's
It's
impressive.
what I do.
Yeah, well, I have a
They
different.
offer like a 10-second chart now. I mean, let's go.
Oh yeah, let's go. What?
Risk equals uncertainty, Sean V. Something I'm comfortable losing from Benjamin. Mario, not doing what you always wanted or like what you intended, right?
Yeah.
You know, risk equals unknown.
Is it really unknown, the risk in trading? That's a good topic.
That's true.
And so is risk unknown in trading?
I mean, you know what you're risking in, or it could be unknown-ish. I mean, you should know what you're risking, right? I use fixed risk when I get in. So I know what my risk is. Like I'm risking $200 or 250 or whatever. I mean,
So you know, so the risk is not unknown, but what's unknown is, are you gonna get stepped out or not?
right. Like risk for me, like is like I think could be synonymous with maybe the word ante, right? So like when I'm thinking of the market, right? Like if I play a game of poker, I'm gonna sit down at the game of poker and just to see the cards flip, I have to pay the ante. You know what I mean? So for me, when I'm trading the stock market, that's kind of how I view money when
Yeah,
I
like
put
a
it.
cover.
Yeah, it's a cover charge. It's like it's what I got to get in, right? I got to put this money in so I can see what happens. So as soon as I enter a trade, there's almost like an, you know, and I learned this from you actually, Doc V. There's actually this assumed loss. Like right when I get in the trade, I completely detach from what's there, kind of just saying, all right, so that money's gone now. Let's see if I get anything back. You know, and it's kind of like a, you know, it really helps me a lot to not get so attached to the outcome because it doesn't even feel like risk that way for me as much. But risk is anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, I think, is how I would like. For me, I feel like I'm risking when I'm uncomfortable. Like my body kind of tells me when things are risky.
And is your body being uncomfortable a bad thing? Because we could be
No, not
uncomfortable
necessarily.
doing the right thing, right?
No, we got to listen to that uncomfortability, right? Like, you know, that's if I'm uncomfortable, there's a reason. Maybe I'm too sized. Maybe I'm not following my strategy and I know it. You know, maybe I'm making a decision that's outside of the box. I mean, generically, that's like I said, for me, is risk is when I start having that feeling. That's kind of more like when I feel like I'm taking a risk, maybe.
But also feeling uncomfortable or risky could be because you're actually sitting on your hands and following your rules.
Right.
We
Right.
can
Risk not
feel,
participating.
I mean, we can feel really uncomfortable doing the right thing. You know?
Actually, I think in trading, I think we normally do. Right. I think this goes with your like we kind of suck at this concept. Like I actually think when you're trading right, you're probably leaning on the edge of not feeling super happy. You know, like you're not really comfortable when you're in a trade. If anything, I really like Kevin Hart, comedian. He has this whole section in one of his comedy things where he says, "Time to get comfortable with being uncomfortable." You know what I mean? And he's talking about the audience. Like I'm going to press some hot topics here with everybody. So y'all just get ready. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And for me, like trading, it's uncomfortable really like the entire time. But I guess maybe I know maybe there's like a level of uncomfortable I'm willing to tolerate before I feel risky, maybe. Like you know, like 10% uncomfortable, okay? 20% uncomfortable, not okay. I don't know.
You mean money-wise, right?
Or like yeah, like money
Oh,
wise, like
okay.
now, like I really don't have that issue. Oh, I mean, the past few weeks I mean, especially the past like month, I mean, I just hit it. Like it's very little concern.
But it's a very interesting topic because in life we will be uncomfortable doing the right thing as well. That doesn't mean it's more risky. Because there's a song by One Republic, Shooting Stars, I think. He says, why does it feel good to do the wrong thing? Why it feels so good to do the wrong things? And usually it's because it is a habit or because it's giving us a direct reward, like on the spot, like not a delayed one. And many times in life, we will have to choose between two uncomfortable scenarios, right? So which one is the best? Which one should we follow, knowing that there's like neither choice is a great one because we feel kind of meh, you know, but there's a one that will follow that is on the path or who we want to become. But we will be uncomfortable. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, it's like
becoming...
sizing up at the gym, right? Like you're gonna hurt more, you're gonna be more uncomfortable, but that's how you grow.
Exactly.
Right?
And I really like also, so the risk, the unknown aspect, I think it should be known to you. What is the risk of your position? Because you don't know what the market will give you or not. We cannot anticipate the market movements. So we need to know what's the risk on every trade. And when we say you should have a fixed amount, I'm not saying you size up and you have a tight stop. I'm saying let the market tell you where is your stop. So for me on PL, it's above R4, okay? And based on your entry and your risk, how many contracts can you have? And PL, for instance, has no micros. So you need to know that. You need to know your instruments. You need to know their personality. If you want to trade NQ because it moves, I get it, okay? You need to be also comfortable with letting NQ breathe when you trade it. It's like, sometimes I have the impression as human, like we want to have the money, but we don't want to risk anything. We don't want to invest anything. We want to trade NQ, but we suffocate NQ because we cannot handle its movements. Guess what? It's not for you. If you cannot handle that kind of pressure, if you're not comfortable with your sizing, you will never have a great trade. It will be an emotional one.
This for me, like this is a very like animal, like core, like beginning of our being kind of concept here, right? Delayed gratification. Could you imagine being like early humans, right? And hunting, right? Anytime we got food, we got hungry, we went out and got it, right? But people really couldn't grow, right? We couldn't become more. Civilizations couldn't increase. Why? Really just wasn't enough available food. We would always deplete our sources. So how did human beings get to where we are today? Agriculture, right? We actually learned that we could take certain edible plants and we could actually keep their seeds, keep them through periods. We could plant them, we could cultivate them, and we could wait for months. But then in months, we could then have massive yields of massive harvests that could feed people for days, weeks, years, right? So, but imagine the person who came up with that idea. You know what, everybody? Instead of eating all of this right now, let's just keep part of it and plant it, and then we'll eat it later. That delayed gratification, that had to be a massive change in the human condition. But think about that when you're approaching stock trading, the difference between letting your position grow and mature and develop and taking advantage of that versus just being someone who needs to kill. You got to just get out there, you got to get it, you got to eat, you have to consume, right? And that's a especially if you're trading NQ, that mentality is you're probably going to be on someone else's lunch ticket if that's the mentality that you have. You're going to be consumed. You know what I'm saying? Because all of these little, you're just never going to let it mature and grow enough to really like be a meaningful position for you. So this is where letting these things breathe and giving it an opportunity, that delayed gratification, you know, is a real skill to work on in life too. You ever want to go on a big trip and have to save for a year for it? I mean, it's hard to do, especially when all of a sudden you realize you need, you know, you want like a nice new pair of seat covers for your car, you know, and you're like, wait, yeah, but if I spend that $200 now, then I don't get to go on a trip in 3 months. You know what I mean? Delayed gratification is hard, and in trading especially. That's a
Yeah,
good
and
point, Dr.
especially
V.
if we're going through personal life challenges, we want the market to give us something. Like it's like eating chocolate or having a glass of wine or just having a drink, you know. Because it's tough in our lives, we come to the market and we're like, okay, let's make some money so I'll feel better.
Mhm.
Very bad idea, okay? Just don't touch anything. If you're feeling bad and you feel like you have a craving for money, it's bad, okay? It's emotional. It's primitive. It's survival. Please don't touch your account.
For those of you checking out, my screen, I just threw up this lovely post that Dr. V actually put up a few days, like a week ago. And it actually says here, trading will never fill the void. You know what I mean? And when I saw this post, I really resonated with it a lot because, you know, I have one of my mentees actually, Dr. V, who is telling me like he really realized that he was looking to trading to make him feel like better about himself. You know what I mean? Like when he had bad trading days, he felt bad about him. When he had good trading days, he felt great about him. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm on top of the world. I'm amazing. But this creates these big emotional swings in him just based upon, you know, how the market's doing. And what if today the market just sucked? Right. And now you're basing your entire feeling of self, right, and
Yeah.
worth based upon a choppy stock market. Like you're never going to make money in this market. It actually wasn't even your fault. Your only fault was touching your buttons. Like you just shouldn't have participated, you know?
How would you know if you didn't follow your rules?
Yeah,
How would you know
exactly.
if you don't have a trading system? How would you know if you can't let that thing breathe? For God's sake. If you want to trade whatever, get to know its personality first. Let's say that the ATR for NQ is 20 points for 5 minutes. Okay, I'm just making this up. It's 38 points.
I was gonna say you weren't off too far off, actually. We're expanding right now, so we're having fun.
For real. I mean, don't have a stop of 20 points. You know what I mean? Like, let it
Yeah.
do its thing. And you know, NQ as a personality, it's a difficult thing. Okay, sometimes it behaves, most of the time it doesn't, at least for me. But get to know your animal. And until you're very comfortable with that, with how the market moves, your own parameters, your past experiences, like all your stuff going on, right?
So true.
That's a gut thing. You can learn all the math that you want about the markets. At the end of the day, it's a gut thing. It is you, right? It is us. And what you're describing, I mean, I felt that, you know, in my early first 2 years, I felt bad when I was losing. And we can be very hard on ourselves. Like it should work. I've done everything right. We talked about that before. Like it's so weird when you do everything right and yet they take the money from you. That's a tough feeling. And to stop caring, to become resilient, to become detached from that takes time. I was reading a scientific paper this weekend, and the researchers were saying that what differentiates great traders from less good ones.
Look at me.
Uh-oh, HG, copper.
Look at me.
Is the experience. You become better because you've seen it all, or not all, but lots of it. You desensitize yourself because you know that if you get an alert at R3 on a wide range, you know what to do, right? So if it doesn't work, because PL was called this morning, I didn't take it, but PL was called for an R3 short. It's a lower, wider range, and it didn't work. So it's your fault. It's not mine, Thor, right?
My fault. That's what they say on the internet. I gave my mentees permission just to blame me if any of their trades go wrong, as long as they follow it. And then one of them posts on my X, "Hey, I just blaming Thor for today." And I was like, "Oh, great. This is gonna go beautifully. I can tell this is perfect." But I mean, I think what you're saying is completely right in every single way. So a lot of people will see like my trade on YM and just be like, okay, so he literally top ticked it and bottom ticked it more or less.
Mhm.
Like how is he able to react and do these things the way he does? But the reality is, and what y'all don't maybe account for, is I published my book in 22, right? So, but I was detailing that system for a couple years prior, right? So I've basically been using the same exact trading system and almost, I mean, very, very small modification, mostly on just the risk parameter side, but to the actual system itself, like zero modification for like a half a decade. And I've been trading it the same way every single day. So when and I've been risking 1R on every single one of those trades every single day, right? So, oh, how does he have the confidence to do that? Well, I've seen it perform. And I am, my music teacher that I used to have, she used to say confidence is preparation, when preparation meets knowledge of ability. So for me, I've prepared greatly. I have detailed exactly what I want to do and how I want to do, and I have the confidence that I have the ability to do what I've prepared. So when I approach the market, I don't have the anxiety because I'm ready for this performance. You know what I mean? So that's what a lot of people I recommend. If you're having struggles, most of the time, if you're having severe anxiety while trading, you are either lacking preparation or you're lacking the knowledge that you are capable of executing what you've prepared, right? And that's saddle time, right? And that's what V's talking about here. That's the saddle time. That's being at your desk for days after days, even though they're losing, learning, moving forward and doing it, but precisely so that you know it's not you, it's the market. And then you can make adjustments, right? Or blame Thor. That's always the easier way.
That's easy. And also, are you anxious because you're too sized in? Are you anxious because you're chasing your trade? Like, ask yourself, first of all, get aware, what am I feeling? Why am I so stressed about this trade? And getting the answer will help you protect yourself maybe in this trade and in the future. Okay, if you're chasing a trade, just get out of it. If you're, oh my gosh, I know why I'm chasing this, the move already happened. Why did I press the button? Just exit the trade. Control the damage there.
And then take a deep breath and just go, oh, I got out. Think about like a car with like its brakes got cut. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I'm just happy I'm out of this car. You know what I mean? Because worst case scenario, Doc, like what happens if it works?
It's
right
worse.
now you're
It's worse.
reinforcing that,
Yes.
right? It's like, oh no, now I'm going to take wide late entries all the time and start chasing trades. Here comes that behavioral slippage again. We start things just, oh, real quick, ramen. I want ramen. Big shout out. Hi, Thor and Dr. V. Thanks to both of you guys. Today, I just passed the Top Step X funded account evaluation.
Wow, congratulations.
So I just a congratulations from the BBT family to you. Make sure as you make all that money, you remember who got you. No, I'm just kidding. No. It's all you, buddy. We're proud of you. Keep it going. Keep us posted on your progress, please. We're excited for you. But thumbs up at everybody for our guy Ramen. Way to go. Love, support.
Thank you for sharing. That's great. Somebody asked, what is my broker with futures? I use Interactive Broker on TradingView.
Yes, that is very amazing. Man, I'm really liking this this topic. Everybody, real quick, let's go ahead and do some thumbs up, just making sure everyone's still paying attention. We're actually doing pretty good on the likes right now. I'm proud of you people. It's a good day. Also, just because it got shared, just a reminder that if you want to learn about how I took this trade on R3 short, and you're interested, there's an Amazon link to my book, A Complete Day Trading System, not to be confused with Trade Book, How to Build a Complete Day Trading System. This is how you build one. This is one that's already built. So your choice on which one you want to get. This one I think is free on ebook right now, though. So you might want to get that. So while you can. We'll go in there. Also, Noodle, you're funny. Also, reminder to everybody, could be tomorrow, could be the next day. I'm going to do a drawing for 1 hour of my time. And I'm thinking maybe in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do another hour of Dr. V on me. So sponsor another Dr. V's time. So make sure all you guys are coming by on the Wednesdays and hanging out for that. But get down here, make sure you're coming in. So one for me this week, maybe next week or the one after that, we'll do another one with
September,
Dr.
right?
V. Ooh, look,
Yes,
there's all the
back to
hands up.
school.
Yeah, they love that. It's back to school season, people. So, oh yeah, mine are already back to school, by the way, and I think yours are soon, right? So
Next week already. Went so fast.
wild.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
oh,
so do we have any question regarding risk or any thoughts or comments, struggles? Is there anything from the chat that you'd like to share?
I like this idea. Ooh, I like that idea too. Signed copy of a book. Maybe I could do that
Oh,
sometime. That would be fun.
great idea. I love that. Are you married?
To the markets, AJ.
To my system.
To my system. To my leader. How do I prevent system hopping? So this would be to make sure I understand Laughing Stock, which is still one of my favorite handles of all time. Laughing Stock. Amazing. So I assume what you mean is just bouncing around and not staying in any one system for a long time, just constantly bouncing around from one to the other. What do you think, Dr. V?
First, we need to understand why is that? So why do you think you're doing that? I'm pretty sure it's because you changed the rules in the trades, so you're not actually sure that you're following one system. Also, maybe because you don't have enough trades using that system. Again, like Thor was mentioning, you need data, you need experience with it, you need to let it do its thing. Okay, you need to follow the rules of it. Then you let it go and you assess as a scientist, and you go back to the lab, and every trade you have your screenshot, you have a screen recording, you talk to yourself, really helpful. Okay, oh, I'm entering this R3 short because blah 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 blah. Okay, you need to know why. Also have a checklist. Okay, your systems should be simple enough so you have a checklist of maybe 5 items maximum, where you need to just check, like a pilot, right? Before where I'm flying this plane, especially some planes,
Especially really small puddle jumpers.
You need to check the boxes before you go. It's the same thing. Don't fire anything until you're sure. It's like being a sniper. Again, we repeat that example over and over. A sniper has to have the perfect shot, the perfect entry. And when I say perfect, we don't want to be perfect in the markets, of course, because it's not the goal here, okay? But we need to know why we're entering. Because again, I would know it firsthand, because at the beginning, and again, it's a normal thing to do, okay? If you're in your first year of trading, you need to taste different flavor. I traded different things, the VWAP, the CAMs, I traded everything. I had bookmap at some point. I changed a lot my strategies because I wanted to make money. I was not interested in researching what would be best for me. So
No, I think that's a really good point. I think in the beginning, I think something you said there is really, really important. Like, I think in the beginning, maybe not be so concerned with defining yourself, right? Like in the beginning, allow yourself to experience the strategies and don't be okay with it. You'll find personality-wise, you'll start gravitating towards one. But just what happened for me, I think, and I think maybe you had this a little bit, Dr. V. I found that after like 6 months or a year of trying the different strategies. I just had a chart full of crap, right? So I couldn't actually consistently make trades because I really didn't have a strategy. I had like 30 strategies that were all
one chart
slammed on my screen at the same time. And my chart literally looked like this, right? Like it's like now if you look at my chart, I have cams and key levels. That's it, right? I have my cams and I have key levels. There's no moving average. I guess there's a VWAP on here. That crept back in, but I don't use it, so probably need to kick it back off. But you can see like I'm really just using my cams and my levels, right? Really key levels and cams. Done, right? And then I'm out. So without all of that, I'm not worried about, oh crap, it's coming back to the 9 and 20. Like I don't have a 9 and 20, so I don't have to worry about that, right? It doesn't exist to me, right? I have a cam here. So one of the issues you may have with strategy hopping is you're not actually picking a strategy. Like you're just kind of bouncing around between the varied strategies that you're doing. So I would recommend, actually, I started working with Dr. V. I was probably about 4 months ago or so now at this point. And one of the things she talked about was Livermore a lot when I started working with you. And you were talking about naked charts and Livermore and just cleaning that chart up. And I remember the day I went through and literally just took like a fire hose to like my chart and just took everything off of it. And my trading instantly got better that next day. You know what I mean? So one of the things I might recommend with the strategy hopping thing is maybe like go through and look at your chart and say, do I use that? And if that answer is not absolutely, get it gone, right? Rip it off your chart. You know what I mean? You know, and then see where you're at.
Yeah, like how do you want to build conviction if you have 10 different indicators on your chart? Because let's say that I want to take an artery short, but I have yesterday's high in front of my eyes. And then I have VWAP. And then I have the 9 and 20 that haven't crossed yet. And maybe the RSI is not ready. And maybe the MACD is not ready. I mean, at the end of the day, it's everything works. Every indicator works. But choose what do you like the most? Like what is the most easy to respect? The one that you trust, okay? You need that trust. You need to choose and don't be afraid of missing out on trades. You will save your butt big time when you decide to just look at your chart with the stuff that you need. And speaking of that, Thor, you mentioned that you have the really key levels. So how do you use them if they are on your chart?
So the main ones that I'm really using for and that I'm worried about it is mostly just the open price and the pre-market highs and pre-market lows. Those are really the only ones that I'm really like you know, in reality, and this is something again, the really key levels themselves could probably be pulled, to be honest. Like I actually like when I made my trading decision, like CP is already where yesterday's close is going to be. So I really don't need yesterday's close. This is why the movement to the CP always works, right? Because yesterday's close, PDC is CP, more or less, right? So for me, that's why that's always been such a strong one. So I actually could like if I went here and went to really key levels, and I hid those. Right? What does that really change? I lose the awareness of where the open price is, but again, my cams, God, I love these things. Look at the perfect wick to R3 on YM, right? And then on the reoffer we just had a few minutes ago, look at how we went perfectly back to monthly R4.
I know. So what?
And now we just reoffered it, and now we're selling. God, these things are fun.
And again, I really like the comment by Pig Wrestler saying, I don't agree with that because we need confluence. And I get what you're saying, and that's very important. That's why I use higher time frame levels on my chart too. But at the end of the day, how much confluence is too much confluence? And if you need too much to enter a trade, it will be difficult for your brain, because how can you attach the different weights on every one of the criteria, right? So
Yeah, and I agree.
you
And I
need
think
to
when you
choose your
say we need,
confluence.
oh, sorry.
No, that's it. You just have to choose your confluence too, I guess.
No, I couldn't agree more with what you said there, actually. And the question is you need the confluence, right? So for me, I don't need nearly as much confluence as you're going to need for taking these trades because it works. You know what I mean? Like I firmly, I saw it wick, I saw it hit the level, the VPA fit. That's really all I needed, right? That's the amount of confluence I needed. But for the more you have, right, you're gonna find like you're gonna either be taking lower quality trades or not taking trades, right? Because the market, how do I explain this right? It's a snowflake, right? Like anytime you look at a snowflake, it looks exactly the same as every other snowflake you've ever looked at until you stick it under a magnifying glass. Every snowflake's a thumbprint. It's a crystalline structure. It has completely developed its own pattern, every single one, infinite number of patterns, right? And that is the market. Today, this ticker, the only thing similar about YM today to yesterday is that it is called YM. Everything else about it is technically different. We're at a different price. There's different participants. There's a different news catalyst, right? The spread's a little different. The float's a little bit different. Like everything about this ticker today could be different than yesterday. The only thing that's the same is it's called YM, right? But notice where it turned around from. How could it turn around from that? That's called work, right? I spent a lot of time with some fairly smart market makers, picked their brain and asked them, where do I turn this thing at? You know what I'm saying? And we figured it out. You know what I mean? So I take this because of the precise interaction with the level. That's the confluence I'm needing. But you could draw higher time frames, VPOC, price and thing, big moving average. It's all going to hit that same spot. You know what I mean? So I don't need all that extra stuff. I just need the cam.
And again, it's a personal signature. Your trading system is your thing, okay? We cannot argue with another trader's style. This is your style. But if you find yourself not having the consistency you need or the discipline to follow your rules, or maybe there's too much still in there, we need to simplify. Trading can be simple, for real. And when you're saying, so then everything is irrelevant, yes, everything can be irrelevant and everything can be relevant because everything works at some point. Yesterday's high works very well. Pre-market high, very well. VWAP, everything works. But what are you choosing to repeat every day? What are your criteria to enter a trade? I like to have a trend break when I enter a reversal. That's my own thing, right? You don't need, for example, you don't need a trend break to enter. You have your level and you just enter on a new low, right? So again, what are we feeling comfortable in following? Too many rules will make your brain freak out and take not the bad decisions, but the emotional decision, because there's a very, very fine moment. Again, from my reading from this weekend, we need a specific brain region to make the correct choices in our trading. And I mean, it doesn't take a lot to tip that balance and then you lose it. Very sensitive. So the brain areas that we most need, our best friends, our CEO, is very sensitive. And because humans are very bad at taking decisions because we are biased, when I say we're bad, it's because every decision is biased, right? So we need to bring those decisions down. The less decisions we take, the better our trading is. So keep that in mind, less trades and a less complicated system. That would be great. Less trades. And I think in September, I'm going to have the challenge with my mentees of 1 trade a day. Like everyone, I'm doing it with them. Like, let's do it. Let's try it on. 20 days of trading, 1 trade a day. And
Yeah,
at
I
the
did
end
that
of
with
the month,
a couple of my mentees recently. Whenever I get my over traders, we have to do the one trade challenge, and they're always just blows their minds how their profitability instantly takes a turn in the right direction
right?
doing a one trade
We have
challenge.
one bullet. So first we feel that it has to be meaningful because we have one bullet. So we look at charts differently. We wait for those alerts. And when we get alerted, we look at the chart. Do I like this or not? Does it fit my criteria? Am I too late? I have one bullet, one stop loss, one risk. Let's say you risk $100. Your stop should represent $100 wherever it is placed according to the market technicals, and then you assess. And I'm sure like it would be a great exercise just to start a new semester, back to school fresh. So give me thumbs up if you want to do the challenge with me in September 1st. So September 2nd, one trade a day.
James, so James would die.
Exactly.
That's the point, though. So, I mean, the thing that's like really wild with this whole thing is you'll start to realize, like when you're going through there, that as you start to go through this one trade challenge, it's the main thing, especially for people who have trouble trading. The reason you have trouble trading is because you overcommit on a poor day, right? So think about this like being a professional surfer and trying to go surf on a day there's no waves, right? You're probably not going to set big scores for surfing, right? If there's no waves, because that's literally what you do as a surfer is ride waves, right? So if you're going in and you're participating on the market on a day the market's just choppy or otherwise annoying, you're just going to lose money. And that's where most of us actually die, right? Is we have, instead of just taking one trade, okay, this didn't work, I'm done. And like, on the day the market is great, you made that one trade, you won, you stop trading for the day. But all of a sudden, now that you're losing, we're going to take 10 trades today, trying to make this winner happen. And Dr. V's taught this hands down, and you need to keep attention to this. Every time you put money on, that's risk, right? So if you made $400 that day, but you took 10 $100 trades to get to that $400, your RVR ratio for your day is severely upside down. And you're going to have a big hurt at some point in the future because you're going to take those 10 trades, but you're never going to hit that winner. That's going to be a 10R loss that day. And you're never going to make more than 4R in your winning days, right? So this one trade challenge really helps because what it does is it stops you from blowing out your bottom end, right? And when most of the time you win, it's going to be on the first trade anyway.
Yeah, and this is what I see in my data actually. So I had one trade a day this week. So that's so I have one account that has one trade a day. So that's that. Yeah, I can see that, and I think it's a great reset too. Just you don't have to do that forever, but just if you're finding yourself again struggling, not happy with the discipline, losing too much, having too tight of stops, just maybe try that little purification.
I couldn't
And
agree more.
take more setups on the sim account, maybe if you're trading live. But just relax. Trading is a cherry on top. It shouldn't be your whole life and your whole, resources to pay your bills. It's a cherry on top. It's an investment that you do for your future. It's gonna take time. It's a long-term journey. Some years you will not make great money. Some years the money will be great. Some weeks you will not make money. Like, are we ready to handle 5 days in a row where we have losing trades? Like winning is easy. It's easy when it works. You take your first trade, it works, it goes to target, everything works. That's easy. That's fun. What happens with you if your first trade is a losing trade? And the second one, what happens? What happens if you have a red day, very cute red day. We like cute red days. The day after,
Beautiful red days.
yeah, the day after you have a red day again. Now this is what trading is about. How you react, how you handle that.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I mean, for everyone out there, I mean, that's these whole things, like, and why we wanted to talk so much about risk today, right? Because controlling your risk, not only being okay with it, but what Dr. V says there, right? Danny F, your beautiful red day, right? Show me your winning day. I'm not that impressed. Show me your losing day. You got a shot to impress me. You know what I mean? Like if you come up to me and you said, yeah, the market was really choppy. I took two trades. They both lost and I walked away. You know what I mean? I'm going to give it to you, right? I'm just going to be so happy for you because I do that, because someone who can walk away when the market is not ideal maybe has a chance of staying in the market when it is, right? So, and that's the whole thing. You want to play when it's time, and even with all of the other things, I assure you, in my experience, you will not likely become a consistently profitable trader that will pay your bills every single day if you're taking 10 trades a day, right? The idea here is to use size to your advantage, right? You want to build consistency so that you can replicate the behavior and the consistent return, and then size the behavior, right? We start scaling. We either add accounts or we add money to the account we have, right? This is why what Dr. V says is so important. Don't get out of that day job too fast. Keep the market as your cherry on top. Make money, fund your account, get it big, get it ready, because when you're ready, then it's let's go time. You know what I mean? You start making some real money and maybe you can replace your income. But if you go into this without that expectation and just love the market, enjoy the market, have fun, and really, I think one thing I can say about us, Dr. V, is we love the market. You know what I mean? Like it's like we're grateful to the market. We're happy to be here. Even when we lose money, it's kind of like losing to a sibling or something. Like, all right, you get to win this time. You know what I mean? It's just kind of this like fun interplay that we kind of get to have here with the market. And then maybe if we don't take it so seriously, you know what I mean? We don't have to stress. Just do what we're supposed to do the way we're supposed to. 1 or 2 trades a day. Ideally, I like the 1 trade challenge, and then live, right? Experience life. Spend time with your babies. Spend time with your friends and loved ones, right? Why did we come to the stock market? Freedom. You know what I mean? If you wanted to make this kind of money, you could just work 70 hours a week, right? You can still make this kind of money doing that, but why? Because you want to do it in 10 or 15 minutes, not in 70 hours. Well, guess what? Taking 10 trades a day, that's a full-time job, people. I didn't come to this for a full-time job. Come on
And
now.
we get so greedy with the trading. We want to make money, right? But when we think about how we make in our day job for one day, like why, I mean, like why being so greedy with the markets? Why wanting to prove them wrong all the time? Why like wanting to control? Like the markets are very loving. Like tough love is still love.
That's
Okay.
right.
They want you to understand something about yourself. They want you to make them understand how they move so you can learn to dance better with them. Okay. All right, I will have to sign out, and I have my BBT lunch session, and also tonight in the BBT webinar room, I have my monthly webinar on why smart traders still make stupid mistakes. So we will talk about the brain, obviously, and
I love it.
I will see you then.
Yeah, why traders do dumb things. I like it. It sounds like something I need to watch. So let's go ahead and do this, people.
Thank
Don't
you,
forget,
guys.
everyone, much love. See you all later. Dr. V, see you in a bit.
Bye.